Hello everyone. How can one person be watching already? I just got here. So, welcome on the replay. I better get used to saying that. Hello everyone. How can one person be watching already? Sorry about that. It's going to take me a wee while to remember to do that. Again, like I said the other day, it might happen every time. By the way, how weird is it? Like, this is only the second, wait a minute, it's the third time I've done this week. It feels like I've been doing it like for about 7 days in a row, not 3 days. So weird. Well, that's a good sign or a bad sign, guys. I mean, it's been fun, and definitely by the feedback, that's great. But it's kind of like it's like I think it's a good sign. I think it just feels like it's just feels time. Oh, sorry, Nathan, I didn't actually reply to the last thing you said, but you're right. I do get a sense of joy whenever I see both my nieces. I'm like a wee hyper kid when I see them. So, hello, oh, there you are, Nathan. I said your name when you appear. How are you doing? So thank you again for saying that. You made my day. It was, again, I love it when anyone comments, but every now and again, somebody really says something and it's right when I needed to read something nice. And that was one of those moments. So thank you for that. Yeah. Right. So like I said, I'll give it a wee bit of time to see who's coming. I'm like, I didn't really think that one through when I said I was going to be doing paid chakra readings. Of course, there is the fact that like nobody might not even want one, but it was just in case anybody did. I was being inspired to do that. Because I want to mix it up with the, like when I do free readings, which I do want to keep to one card. Don't think I've managed that so far. And and offering the paid stuff too, because like I said, it's like, I need to make this, I need to make this work for me too. But I didn't really think it through, like, 6:30, like when I've just had my tea. So if anybody does want that, I think we'll give it a 20 minutes or something, do you know what I mean, for me to be in the but I could say that when more people arrive. Right, okay. So what I am going to do though is I'm going to do some collective chakra things. So my idea was I'm going to use one of my chakra decks, and I'm actually far too far. It's happened again. Did I open that window? It's because I'm wearing a roll neck. It's freezing outside, but anyway, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to use one of my chakra decks, and I was also inspired to pick up one of my crystal decks. These are actually my OG cards, by the way. When I first made up my chakra soul empowerment reading, which I still do, it's just a longer reading and a lot more money now, but I've been doing that for like 8 years, maybe even 9. Like I started it online, and I do it in person as well, and it's kind of like my signature thing. But these particular cards were the ones that I used with it, so they're special to me, and I don't actually use them all the time. So I've used these chakra ones, but I haven't used the crystal ones very much, and I don't really ever see too many people using these, to be honest, like on YouTube or that. So you still get them, like, but it's just and they're really detailed. They're very, when quite a lot of you refer to me as like a few of my kind of soul fam clients I work with quite a lot refer to me as like a doctor or like a shaman doctor, because that really is what shamans are. I mean, I never use the word doctor for myself, but I can see why people make that likeness, because a lot of the time people have been going to doctors and even hospitals, and they actually come to me and I work out what it is that's going on. So you can imagine the kind of conundrums that get sent my way for myself and for people close to me. You know what I mean? They could be getting told all sorts by doctors and hospitals. There must be something about doctors and hospitals. And I'll just be able a sense of something. And when I worked for those of you who don't know that, when I worked in a children's oncology ward, that was happening all the times, where like I remember once, and I've told the story before, but I remember once, by the way, if somebody's new as well, my name's Claire, and the healing is weaved in everything that I do. So again, I'm a Reiki master and a shaman. So although I'm not sitting holding my hands up at the screen telling you I'm sending you Reiki in silence, like it's just not my thing. You know what I mean? Again, I am going to experiment with doing some videos like that. because I haven't for a while, but I just kind of feel it's because I've got too much energy. Do you know what I mean? I think I get a little bit bored. So, I mean, actually, I'll just ask that now. Do you want me to do that? Because I am being shown clairvoyantly. There's a friend of mine that's also a healer that she did always used to say that she liked the ones. I mean, she loves the chatty side of me, but she likes the ones when it's just my eyes and my hands. But I don't know if I could sit here for 30 minutes on a live. That would be awkward as tits. Imagine I was just like this. I'd be laughing. I'd be fucking laughing. If people want me I'm going to do a poll. People never answer the fucking polls, so I'll just ask here. But if I do that, I'll have to pick like a really serious moon. I mean, that is Capricorn moon right now, I suppose. But like I'd need to pick like a Scorpio moon. That would be quite good, actually. That's a while away. But if I pick, sorry, I'm just thinking out loud here. If I pick a Scorpio moon, that's when I can really transmute energy in quite a big way. And that is a bit about silence and stillness. And that would be really intense. So that would be really intense. If I was staring into the camera for 30 minutes, that would be fucking intense. Yeah. Well, I know you love Reiki because that's what you're hanging around here for, Nathan. Did you not realise that? Like, I'm not joking either. Like, every video that I do is infused with Reiki because it's what I am. But it's just I don't I like to do things differently. And I know, I'm kind of cutting my nose off sight my face because I know that, that stuff does really, really well. I've actually had people that do similar, basically come across me and then do stuff with me and things blow up in that. So it's because I'm a Reiki master teacher. But like I say, you got to be true to you. And do you know what I mean? I just find it a bit boring, like, to be honest. But I mean, something like it. So I kind of like mixing it more with my coaching side, like when I'm on here, I wouldn't call it counselling. But actually, I only say I'm not calling it counselling because you're not really meant to. But the thing is, my type of counselling is my own type, and I'm mixing it up with everything. So, you know what I mean? With me being a hypnotherapist and, doing NLP and I do EDMR, I always get the letters mixed up. And I do lots of different things with people. I just weave all my healing together. Do you mean I do the astrology? Oh, the astrology. That's why I said that, Nathan, because So Nathan said, you said I could do that, eh? Because this is the first time I put in your details, but I've not had a chance to properly look at it. But what I did see is you are Libra rising. I'll wait and see I'm sure you said that was all right. But do you know what I mean? That's like basically for those of you that have never had a session with me before, the best one to book if you're interested in astrology, especially. And this is why I think this has been orchestrated. That sorry, I just need to slow down a bit. God, it's exciting energy. See how different my energy is today from yesterday. Like that's what it's like with me. It's like, I just need a day to kind of wind down, which I now think is going to be the Wednesdays in my bed, where I just don't, when I'm in my bed, it's like I'll still do low energy work stuff from my bed, or unless I was really knackered, I wouldn't do anything. And then it's like I'm back up and running. Like that's how I'll be able to make this Tuesday to Friday thing work. Although I was just kind of overthinking there before I came on. I was like, what if I've got somebody around for tea? Do you know what I mean? That's going to be annoying. But the thing is, I do it kind of often enough. I suppose I do have like a friend round for tea. Probably not once a month. I'd say once every couple of months, one of my pals are up for tea or that. But actually, even then, they usually come later. Like, the few people that do that, they usually, like, they would come if it was just a 30-minute, which I'm not going to, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to overthink things that I don't fucking do all the time. So I think this 6:30 thing might work. But again, I might experiment with another time. What was I going to say? Yeah, so I'm going to experiment with a lot of things. Like I said, I will experiment with doing some silent healing stuff because when I have done that, people have loved it. So I have to take that on board for people. It tends to always be like Christmas. I tend to do that when I've done the shorts. But other than that, like, I'm very interactive. Whenever I've had anyone else look at my chart, they do say that, like, I'm really suited to live streams, with interaction. So, but like I said, I could still live stream and I could just sit here and like, you know what I mean? It's fucking boring. Like, as long as you trust me that I say when I'm talking here and I'm generating energy and I'm praying and I'm sending healing, And actually, Nathan, you're my fucking proof of it. That's why I posted it. Because some folk don't believe in this shit, so keep that shit coming. But genuinely and authentically, don't be doing it every day, because then they'll think I told you to do it. Anyway, I'm in a funny mood. Right. So let me actually read what you're saying. I'm in the eye of the twin flame storm. Well, right away, me too. All of us are. It's so good, but overwhelmed. Oh my god, we're always in the same place. We're all, I don't know. Am I? Is that where I am? I think that's very much where I actually am. But I'm just. It's like I've got my brolly and I've got my wellies and my coat on, and I'm fucking ready for anything. Do you know what I mean? And I've just looked at something that says how to handle it. That's how to handle it. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. And when it's raining, get out and fucking dance in the rain. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I love Reiki, but I'm sure you'll find a way that works. I already read that bit. Yes, you can do so. Right, okay, so because it's just me and you here right now, let's just do that. Will I do that? I'll get the chart up anyway. There it is. I'm just giving people a wee bit more time to arrive. What else was I going to say? So indecisive. Do you know what? Because I make up my own rules, Nathan, see, because it's just me and you, I feel guided to pull you a Kali card. I know I said I wasn't going to do free readings, but fuck it. Until get really busy around here, guys. You guys can sometimes, maybe not every time, but so far it has been every time. But this is only the third day. Like I said, I think Spirit are wanting me to do a wee bit of I'm kind of seeing this week as a wee bit of a challenge. Like I might be saying I'm going to do this every week, and it might just be that I'm like, get to tomorrow and I'm like, guys, I don't know what that week was all about, but I can't do that every week. Seriously. That's sometimes what they do for me. To trick me, and to get the healing out there. Right. But I'm shuffling these Kali cards. So do you feel guided to, and then I'll do it for me and I'll see if I pull myself the same one. Right. What does Nathan need to know in particular about what he just said about a twin flame storm? Nathan, I don't know if this will resonate with you, but they just got me to pull those really, well, I know I've got loads of really intense cards now. Which actually, guys, that is why I need to be remembering to put the donation link up and everything, because I spent a fucking small fortune when my Sagittarius moon got a bit carried away before Christmas. And yeah, where other people are like, yeah, donate and I'll buy the cards. And I'm like, fucking hell, they're like channels with like tens of thousands. And I never do that. And I fucking bought them myself. And it's like, I'm always like, I shouldn't have done that. But I should have, because it was an investment. But yeah, seriously, whenever you do feel guided so to do that, I'll be very grateful, because but no, seriously, I wasn't going to pull it. I just got guided to pull these cards, right? So I don't know how it resonates. I don't know if they're for you or someone else out there, but please tell me how you're feeling. It's driving me crazy not knowing. So is that how you're feeling about your twin, or is that your twin about you, or is it a bit of both? And I look at your social media every day, so you better get that shit on private, Nathan, because somebody's watching you. Of course, the thing is, that might not always be your twin flame. That could be fucking karmic anybody. Do you know what I mean? Give me a second chance, please. I beg you. Right. So we don't know whose twin this is, but they're getting pretty desperate here. Do you know what I mean? They're wanting an answer. My hands just won't stop, guys. Right. Okay. Now I need to be serious. I was conditioned to hide my feelings since childhood. Yeah. So again, this is, I'm not really sure if that's going to resonate with you, or if that's just I really actually, I'm not even kidding, like, cut that off now. I feel like somebody's twin was like bombarding me there. So we're sending prayers and healing to whoever that is. But yeah, it's basically, I think that's a collective message. So hang on a minute, I'm going to pull your Kali card. I know you are hanging on, by the way. I'm just kind of like, what's the fuck's that all about? the general message coming through there is mixed messages. So if you're getting mixed messages, it's because somebody has been conditioned, somebody, I think that's everyone, you've been conditioned since childhood, you or your child's been conditioned since childhood not to show your feelings, you know what I mean? Like, not to be vulnerable, like it's not safe to be vulnerable. Therefore, somebody can really mask it going the other way. But the truth is, I love our telepathic bond. I feel you with me every day. And then that's what you see when we strip it back down to the true innocence of, oh, this is really coming through, like the true innocence of our inner child is that, like, twin flames love to play with that telepathic bond. And you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. Again, that might be a bit of a strong statement for some, but I can't live up to your fantasies. And then, like, look, see, I get this. And then, though, you see, it jumps to that. So I think that I'm getting this real, I have to go with this while it's coming through. I'm getting this strong feeling, right, that, like, that's the truth of it for whoever this is for. So I'd love it if on the replay or live, somebody lets me know who this resonates with. Of course, it'll be fucking everyone. But it's kind of like, the truth of it is that your twin loves your telepathic bond and they feel your energy around them. Now, again, if you're the divine feminine energy, or again, runner, chaser, you know, whatever, if you're the one that's got more of awareness of it, you might be more aware of the telepathic bond and see the signs more and all that. But really, at this stage in the game, providing your twin has started to wake up even the slightest bit, and I feel most of the people that be drawn to me, that would be the case. They're getting bombarded too. They're going to be seeing your name, your surname, your birthday numbers, if they know that, or whatever, all these kind of anything they associate with you. And you are a very good thing that happens to them in their life. Or, like, say, some may say you're the best thing that's ever happened. So again, it's going to be for someone. But that card is, I can't live up to your fantasies. And that's when your twin will drop into ego. And it's kind of like, I happen to feel that's not really their true feelings. That bit, but don't go fucking loony on, you know. And when I say that, it's like, I'm sorry to say it like that, but what I mean is, don't be in denial, like, because some of you may think somebody's your twin flame and they genuinely aren't, right? So again, book a personal session for us to feel into that if you're even got any slightest bit of doubt there. But it's like, this is more coming from, like, a parent's voice, I feel, like, or the people around them that heavily influence them, that it's like, you know, basically come out of dreamland, or, you know, that's just a fantasy, like, this is reality kind of thing. And then that can be somebody being like, I can't live up to your fantasy. Like, not feeling like it'd be able to work. And then look, and then this is somebody chopping and changing. So I'm picking up on somebody chopping and changing. And if they haven't chopped and changed yet, this is the energy coming towards you, probably with that new moon, definitely with that new moon in Aries, solar eclipse. I still love you and I want us to start all over again. That feels like a line out of film. Every time I read that card, that is a line. It's like, this is fucking weird. I can even, if you only lift my head for a minute, guys, it's fun, I'm not going to lie. It can be exhausting too. But it's like, oh, I know what that's my favourite. It's, I know I say everything's my favourite, but it's, I think it is Three Men and have you ever seen Three Men and a Little Lady? It is. It's, every time I read that card, it must be that. It's when he's like, oh, it is that. That's really clever. They've not used a film this week, have they, to get me to paint the picture for the collective, because that is what I get guided to do if you're new. It's that's the whole thing with that film. It used to I've channeled about this before when I've been on live, so sorry if you've heard all this before. But so when I'm looking away, by the way, for anyone that's new watching this, that's my clairvoyance. It comes in stronger when I do that. So it's the whole thing with that film is it is really frustrating. I understood it even when I was a wee girl watching it, like how, God, I'm channeling two different things at the same time. That's weird too, because the wee girl in that actually says, I understand now. Sorry, I won't do it in an American accent because I can't do it. But you mean, it's like somebody says to her in that film, you don't understand, you're just a little girl. I think it's her mum says it to her. And she's like, I understand now. Peter loves you. Do you know what I mean? Is anyone born in the 80s? Does anyone know these films? I know that people will on the replay. But so there could be something here about a child noticing somebody isn't quite themselves, something like that's coming in, or it's something to do with someone's inner child. That's already came in. But the whole thing with that film is, I just need to get this out or they won't let me shut up, by the way, it needs to come in really quick, is he doesn't want to be vulnerable. but he is completely in love with her, remember? And to the point where he can't tell her, he actually lets her move all the way from New York all the way to England with the horrible guy that she's planning to marry, even though she's in love with the guy Peter too. So do you mean it's like totally fucking infuriating because it's just two people that feel exactly the same that are not telling each other they feel exactly the same because they're both afraid of being vulnerable. Infuriating, guys. If you were a wee kid watching that, or even watching it as an adult, and you were like, this is so fucking annoying, then, you know, let me know in the comments below. I know you were. That was a good film. But yeah, every time I read that, I still love you and I want us to start all over again. It's because he does say something in the film like, that's it. Because she's like, but you don't have to do this now. We're coming back. I know it off by heart. See, there was always a reason why I watch films so much and then I know it off by heart because I needed it for my work. I've told you before, and sorry, Nathan, we're going to do lots of things, right? I just need to get this out. I'm just aware that I'm going to look at your chart, right? So that's going to be fun, but it'll be more fun when there's more people here. And I'm also, so there's that. But what was I going to say there? Yeah, anyway, I need to slow down. I'm going to read what you're saying. But yeah, so that's linked because what I was about to say about my chart was in my chart, it basically says this native would have basically a weird job. It doesn't say like that, but if you read it about these placements, it would say this person will do something really unusual for work. Yeah, definitely. But fun. So, but yeah, basically, it's like she's like, you know, that's her going into her ego and defensive, like, you know, you don't have to run after me and tell me you love me, you want to marry me. Like, I'm coming back now. I've rumbled the asshole. Do you know what I mean? You know, like, and then that's when he's like, no, listen to me. This is why we all want this, because we've been fucking brainwashed to fucking want this. Do you know what I mean? Let's fucking own it. But it's kind of like, he's like, I love the way you bite your bottom lip when you're nervous. I love the way I'm not getting this bit. I don't know why I'm not getting this word for word because I have watched that many times, but it's like, and then it's like he says these other things I actually can't remember now. And then I think it's just because it's coming through so quick because I do know it by heart. And then he's like, I even love her liver mousse. And I don't even know what fucking liver mousse is, right? But it's something that she can't cook. I don't know if it's got something to do with eggs or something like that. I don't know. But do you mean, and that's when, if you've seen it, like I'm trying to paint the picture for people that haven't seen this. And if you haven't seen it, you really need to watch it. And if you're in the UK, you just need to fucking scout about the Channel 5 or whatever on a Sunday afternoon. It'll probably be on, or ITV2 or something. But it's that kind of feeling of somebody's taken all fucking day to, like, you know, as in they've taken a long time to either admit it to themselves, or it's not to admit to themselves actually, because he knows he's in love with her. Like, he knows he's, hopefully you can see that, you know, hopefully you get this. So when I'm describing this film, this is going to be people's situations. He has known how much he's in love with her. And actually they've all known, because remember there's 3 dads, and the one that actually is the biological dad totally knows. The one that's Michael, the other dad, he totally knows. She knows, but the thing is, because that's usually the way, like, because Sylvia, I know their names, hasn't had a counsellor, clearly. She's like, I think he loves me, but he's not told me, so I just have to go by he doesn't. That's like when I say about twin flames, even if you strongly feel, and I said this to you in the comments earlier, didn't I? Even if you strongly feel that they're saying, I can't live up to your fantasies, or it could be something way harsher, do you know what I mean? Like, personally, I think that's probably going to be, depends on, you know, anyway, different personalities, that could be come through harsher, but it's like, yeah, now I'm being, because the same deck of cards over there, I can't imagine my life without you. It's somebody giving really mixed messages. I think it's because you said that earlier, mixed messages. It's mixed. These mixed messages are really mixed messages. Whatever people in the collective resonate with that, because it's actually scrambling my brain trying to bring these messages through. But what I'm saying is, I feel whoever's connecting with that, I think there is going to be a moment where somebody steps forward, and I don't know what last minute would be deemed as for different people, but yeah, I still love you and I want to start over again, because that's what he does in the film. I think that's enough. Basically, he, you know, well, he basically tries to get proof that the guy's a bad guy, the guy that she's about to marry, because he fucking is. He's a horrible guy. He's minging too, but each their own. And then he manages to do that. And that's why she's like, right, you've done that. You don't need to do this big grand gesture. And then that's, he's like, no, listen to me. And then, says all that stuff. And because she's also like, you just want Mary because he's in love with the wee, what I mean? He's the wee girl is like his own as well. She's like, you don't want me, you just want Mary. And he's like, and even if there was no Mary, I would still love you. And he gives it, it's the best. You have to watch it if you've never seen it. And that's why I love the waiting for a star to fall. So that song might be significant to someone too. Like, fucking hell, can we stay away from those cards? Because I actually don't like using them because they're so fucking intense. But look, this is why we trust our intuition. The last one, yes, my love for you is real. Never doubt it. So if anyone doesn't get the way that I channel, by the way, because that was coming in really, really fast, that's just to prove that's that energy that was coming through. Someone's head fucked you. Basically, it's really not very nice because somebody has head fucked you. Like, but try show me one fucking twin flame where they've not been head fucked, like on both sides, basically. And again, it all comes from your childhood conditioning, both twins, to not be vulnerable. Oh my God. I'm terrified of being vulnerable with you in case I get hurt. I'm sorry. I just said that and picked that up and it was face down. Do you know what I'm saying? There's something coming through here. So it's not nice, but it doesn't come from somebody doing it on purpose. It comes from a place of self-sabotage. But again, it stems from deep-seated wounds. And it's also a mixture of people being hurt in the past. All very complicated, and it's why I keep stressing for people to get a counsellor. Right, okay, so fucking hell, man. See what I mean? That is just, I need light sage. That was intense. It was really intense. Right, now let me see if that had anything to do with you, Nathan. I love Callie. She's a great goddess, yeah. I really connect with Callie on the Scorpio moons especially. I always feel like I bring through that energy more. Right, I'm moving back from chaser dynamic. I think it's me and my twin. Right. My twin hates being vulnerable. Yeah, everybody's twin hates being vulnerable. If you're the divine feminine, your divine masculine, yeah, absolutely. They're not going to love it, put it that way, or there wouldn't be a problem. Do you know what I mean? You'd be skipping off in the sunset, telling each other how you love each other. And that does happen, when it's meant to happen. But not in the bit where we're in the divine separation. My twin flame son actually said, oh, look, here we go. My twin flame son actually said to her that we should marry when I was there a few days ago. I know she's much. Oh, right. I know she's. So you're in a sit. Hey, listen, guys, come on. I deserve to get 500 for nailing that. I specifically just said, you know what I mean? I specifically just homed in on a kid saying they do understand. And you need, have you seen Three Men, the Little Lady? You need to watch it if you've never seen it. Because that is basically what it's about. Like, she's like, you're just a little girl. You couldn't possibly understand. And she's like, I understand now. Peter loves you. It's kind of reminding me of that other film that I mentioned. They keep showing me the Definitely Maybe. Whereas it's like that guy's wee girl's a bit older, 9 or 10 or something, and he's telling her the story. It's a bit like that programme, How I Met Your Mother, but it's like a film. And it's, she's listening to the story, and I think she's trying to work out which one's her mum in the film. That sounds really dodgy, doesn't it? But anyway, that's a great film. It's a bit long-winded, to be honest, but it is a nice film. But it's a bit similar to that. Maybe I kept getting shown that for you. But yeah, the children know best. Listen to the children, you know what I mean? Unless, of course, you do get cases where children are brainwashed by toxic people around them. And then that's got all kinds of complicated too. I mean, I used to be a school counsellor and I've seen lots of that stuff as well. So I've been around the block, guys. I've worked in a children's hospital, private nurseries, council nurseries, a school as a counsellor. So when I say I can heal children too, I'm not just fucking making it up. Right, okay, so. But I love that the wee boys actually noticed that connection. But that sounds awkward too. What do you say when the kid says that? Right. Give me a Callie card for Nathan. No matter how logical an approach may be, or how sensible it may seem, there are times when the heart nudges us towards a different way. Have the courage to be moved by your heart. along untried paths that resonate, whatever the logical mind has to say about them. You are outgrowing a problem and birthing a superior outcome. Wow, that's really powerful. That feels like that's going to be resonating for more than just you, Nathan. But it really does feel like it's about that energy of the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. Because like I said, that it eclipses things out your life. It's like where the endings need to happen for these new beginnings, and it usually is quite dramatic as well, which would explain why that energy came through quite dramatic. Again, like I said, they know who they're using when they use me, because day to day I'm not a dramatic person, but when I'm on here I am, because I've got a mid-heaven in Leo, which is very ta-da. But it'd be boring. That's why I'm saying I really don't think I can sit here for 30 minutes and do silent live streams. I honestly keep getting all these signs to do it. But so let me know if you wouldn't be bored by that, then I'll try it. 30 minutes seems a bit too long though. I think 15 minutes would be oh. Right. Let's do a wee bit of looking at your chart now, because it might be a bit of a quieter night now, and at least you're here. That's the most important thing. Right. So what was it you said to me earlier in the comment that you did you think your North Node was Aries or Libra? I can check that. That's a bit more of a more complex one. I just need to go back and put something in so that I can see where your Lilith is. Additional objects. I could put in quite a few actually. Lilith. Juno. Let's see where your Juno is too. That's what you need to know. Right. So remember, guys, I read astrology in my own way, is what I say all the time, right? It's whether you call it mine astrology, galactic, clear style, I don't really know. But I weave it in everything that I do. So I would understand that. I would understand if another astrologer in the technological language was saying, you've got Uranus conjunct I'll just actually do what I've actually. You've got Uranus conjunct your moon. I wouldn't say the house, so like in the third house, opposite something like. I understand all of that, but I'm never drawn to speak like that because it takes me a bit to even understand it when someone's saying it to me. And what my friend that's an astrologer said to me years and years, a medium and astrologer said to me years ago as well, was, I think that's your gift, is that you break it down in a relatable way. So that's always just my buffer. It was funny, like it was a year or two ago, another astrologer actually said that to me, as I should really just sort of own it, as how I've said it, as yeah. So it's like, that's why I call it astrotherapy. Like, and that's my own thing, is that it's like I use looking at somebody's chart to pull in your soul's blueprint, your energy, and I weave it with the shamanic healing and the mediumship and really whatever sort of floods in. So I don't focus too much on all the technicalities. So I'd always say, like, if you're kind of more logical, analytical, which actually, Nathan, you've got a lot of earth there. You might enjoy the whole sort of more complex aspects going on in the chart. But actually, to be fair to me, right, like I would actually still tell you that energy, but I don't say it like another astrologer. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know why I'm going to explain it in depth like that. But I know what I mean. So anyway, right. So because this is something I am planning on doing as well. Like I was thinking about screen sharing it at some point, but I wasn't that organized tonight. This was just off the cuff. I think this is just my guides wanting to throw me in at the deep end, because it was just how this all came about was Nathan mentioned, that's right, because your North Node's in Libra, so you were right. So Nathan mentioned something in the comments, and I said, I can check, because if you'd got that mixed up, that's really different. So I'm just going to home in on what. So basically, first of all, are you sure you're okay with me reading whatever I pick up out of this? Because I don't know how long I'm going to spend doing this, but I might get really into it. So I might float off into Never Never Land. So let me know. And you're getting a bargain, because this is a very expensive session, 1-to-1. But the thing is, I'm going to water it down, because obviously we're in public. Do you know what I mean? So just know that if anybody likes the way that I do this, times it by 1,000,000 how more intense this is on a Zoom session, because people are usually in tears. They're telling me like big, deep, dark secrets. Yeah. And the session, I had to make it more money and longer, because basically, because I'm a therapist, people just, well, it's not just even before I was a therapist, like people just open up to me, right? And it's like, basically, because I'm a womb healer and I heal people's trauma, I can't just stop somebody mid-flow when they're telling me something really deep. So the session's usually going on and on. But basically, the long and short of it is, although I recommend therapy all the time, everybody that's had that session with me says it's better than like going to like countless sessions of therapy or 10 years worth of therapy. It helps that much. So again, I can't claim it helps you that much when I'm doing it over this and I'm just having to talk on the chat. But it has helped some people. But these, definitely knowing your Juno in that, well, it's good information to have, by the way. And then also, any of you that are in, I'm just sort of saying, any of you that are in the unique position of knowing your twins, like birth, not really birthday, like you need their exact time of day. Do you know what I mean? I mean, never mind twin, just when you meet somebody a night out, you're, I don't, whatever, when you're dating, you want to know that information, right? You want to know what you're dealing with before you waste your fucking time. Do you know what I mean? I do it all the time. Like, I could be just talking to anyone random, and it's like, I kind of stopped doing it because I was like, it wasn't really fair to me. Do you know what I mean? Because it is my work. Like, you know, I've got to take it seriously. But I just love what I do that much. Laughter is the best medicine. Yeah, I love it. So I'm passionate about it. Right, anyway. So with all that being said, let me just read this wee bit and then, right. Oh, you're just saying your placements, right? So yes, your Lilith is in Leo. You're right. And actually your Lilith in Leo is very close to my Leo midheaven. So yes. Well, Lilith, I always, you know, it's funny, like Lilith is like that kind of, it's like the dark part, you know, right. There's two things. It can be, I always kind of joke about it. Like I used to joke about if a friend in the past would be like, oh, that's our Lilith out tonight. If you were kind of like feeling, I don't know, like a bit kind of, I'm wanting to go with cheeky. Cheeky's not the word. Flirtatious might be the word, but a bit kind of risque, I suppose. It's been like a bad girl, do you mean, or a bad boy or whatever. So I suppose it just depends. Yeah, it depends. But how you could also break that down is it could be where you self-sabotage. So yeah, it's wise to sort of look at where that is. And I'm just going to actually look at where that is. So for you, I think that could translate as you've got Lilith and Leo in the 11th house. Anything to do with friendship groups, anything to do with online, actually, anything to do with groups of people. But like I say, it could be a little bit like how I found it as well. Like again, that I don't know where the hell that I came up with that, but I said it and it kind of stuck. And it was every time we were going on a night out or something, we'd be like, right, Lilith out tonight. But it's kind of like, it's just like, I suppose it's like if you were like, say you were like, oh, I'm not going to go out this weekend, I'm not going to drink. And then it's like that energy, probably like I'd probably say it's like a fucking demon now, but that energy is just like, oh, go on. And then you end up going out. It's that kind of, you know, that rebellious. Anyway, that's how I describe it, right? But what's really, I'm just going to go with what's really, so I know you've mentioned other things here, and I think actually looking at that is all right here, but that's the bit where I said, right, I need to look at your chart because that's different. How did you get confused about whether your rising was Aries or Libra? Aries and Libra are opposite. Let me tell you, you're Libra rising. So remember that because Aries is the opposite energy. So it's very, very different. Because Libra is all about peacekeeping and people pleasing and bringing the love, peace and harmony, which you do a bit of that when you come here. And Aries is, it's not, well, no, I was going to say Aries is not. It's not that Aries is not. It's just Aries is about the truth and integrity. And Aries energy is not scared of rocking the boat if there's lies going on. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Libra energy really would tend to not go towards that. I mean, this is generally speaking, by the way. So everybody needs to take this with a pinch of salt because it would really depend on your other placement. Yeah, I can feel I'm going to go in on this, Nathan. So again, if it looks like I kind of zone off, it's because I really do. I can't really explain it, but when I start, I literally get lost in the little world of somebody's little circle chart here, right? So I'm just going to So you did. Are you okay with me doing this? I'm okay with whatever pops up. You are. That's what I needed to see. Right. Okay. Right. So what I'm looking at here is the thing that's really speaking to me the most is, along with that Libra rising, you've got your moon in Virgo in the 12th house, and you've also got your Mars in Virgo in the 12th house, and then your North Node in Libra in the 12th house. So with that pile up of 12th house planets, that's why you will be drawn to my energy, because my Pluto is in 12th house. So my theory is, I do tend to, you've probably you'll have saw me saying this before when I done 12th house Tuesday, that I do actually tend to attract a lot of people with 12th house planets, because it's difficult, having any planet, never mind a few, but having any planet in the 12th house is difficult. But what you said about, see, look, this is what I mean, this is how much I love my work. What you said about, something along the lines of not being able to, what did you say, not being able to shut up or something? Like, just basically in general, like being able to speak up more and everything. That actually means more to me now, seeing that you've got your moon in the 12th house, because the moon in the 12th house people, typically, like moon in the 12th house people, a lot of astrologers would say, a lot of people that so say for instance, now that I'm telling you this, I don't know what that'd be interesting. Hello, I'm on a roll here next with reading Nathan's chart. So a lot of people would say about moon in the 12th house, no matter what sign it's in, particularly if it was like, say it was a moon in Pisces in the 12th house, that would be somebody that either, if that was you would be like, nobody can read me, not even top psychics and that, but I can. Now, again, I know that sounds really up myself, and I'm not going to make this about me because most of the collective channeling, they do use me in that way. And I might refer to myself, but it'd only be to bring it back to your chart. But what I'm saying is, I'm not being big-headed when I say that. It is literally that placement that I've got. It is like searing into people's souls. Like, you can look up yourself. Having a Scorpio rise is powerful anyway, but because my Pluto conjuncts it, that's why I scare the shit out of people reading people's minds. It's why I get shown when people who I just can feel the not so nice stuff and the nice stuff. What the fuck is going on with the energies? What do you mean? What do you mean? Are you not having the best of days? But yeah, basically, what I'm trying to say is, having a moon in the 12th house, a lot of astrologers would say that you wouldn't be able to be read very easily, because you'll really sort of hide your feelings and keep it to yourself. And moon and Virgo people do tend to be really quite private. Like, one of my best friends is moon and Virgo, and like I said, she's literally one of my best friends since we're like 16, but she is what I don't know if I would describe I suppose private, but do you know what I'm saying, just more reserved is a word. So that might even be a reason why you've been subscribed to me for years, and then now that you know, like, and trust me, hopefully no love and trust me, that that you're opening up now. And that's what I mean, like that I really love to see that, because when you've got any planet in the 12th house, it's the 12th house is like hidden stuff. It's like deep, your deepest sort of emotional pain, your deepest desires as well, which is why I'm geeking out. Notice I went straight to the 12th house, by the way. By the way, next I'm kind of, all I can see is emotional roller coaster, and I'm not going to read the sentence because I'm in the zone. So I'll just read it after I finish this 12th house bit. But sounding in love for that. But it's basically, that's what I mean about, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes that chat thing's distracting. Right, I'm going to deal with Moon and Virgo first of all. Moon and Virgo, typically is very reserved, very good at. Now, by the way, can I just say, Nathan, if I describe this and this isn't you, it's about feeling into it, right? Like the mediumship, when I do this, it's about feeling into it. And if you're like, that isn't me, I'll be able to work out why it isn't you, right? So work with me here. Just anyone, if I ever end up doing anyone else's on this, which I probably will, then just so you know that. Yeah, Moon and Virgo, are you good at tidying up? Normally, I find people with Moon and Virgo are quite good at like things like that, like tidying up or keeping things in order or liking to sort things out. Or it can sometimes swing the way that Virgo placements want to be that and always sort of aim to be that, but you're never kind of getting it quite the way you want it, because Virgo's about perfectionism, remember. There can be an element of as well of hesitating, like, you know, like I'll do it when it's perfect. And I think that I wouldn't be surprised if that somewhere fits with you, because you've got Mars and Virgo in the 12th house. So I had one of my close friends, well, she still has Mars and Virgo, but she's not my close friend anymore. But it's kind of like, yeah, somebody that I knew very well had Mars and Virgo, and again, because we were so close, I was very good at that in her life. So hopefully she spent enough time with me in her life to be, you know, empowered enough to be getting. And again, notice how I speak about people, because again, that is somebody I'm not friends with anymore, but I still hope they're, you know, happy and doing well in life. But using it because I get shown people for the purposes of what I'm saying. Was always procrastinating, and when it came to jobs and stuff, like really amazing at what she does in her field, but we'd kind of hesitate about actually even applying, never mind applying, even looking for a job. So, you know, I was really proud of her when she actually did take it further, like, you know, like she went for that, she went for the, she just went through the whole process, and then, and then actually did it, get a job somewhere else. And that's amazing, because someday with Mars and Virgo, in fact, I'm actually like, I wouldn't be surprised if yours is like the exact same degree. It's not this, wait a minute. It actually fucking is, that's really crazy. I was like, why do I keep seeing my, that person from my past? But it's because you've got it at the same degree. So yours is like the higher degrees there. So it's just a really, really strong energy of, I don't know what you do for your work, but I would imagine whatever it is you do, you'll be quite, efficient at it, and like even quite a perfectionist. Or if you're not using that skill there, that is a skill that you do have in you. Because like you say, the friend that I'm being shown really had that very hard working and very efficient. And it's just she wasn't in the right place. But, she, like I said, she moved when she was meant to. But that was that kind of stalling. You know what I mean? She was stuck in a comfort zone. So that's what I mean about, sometimes I'll reflect back and I'll talk about something doing me, or there's me, they're using me to talk about my friend, because I know that placement well because of her. Right, what was the other bit that I just saw there? Right, and then so now that's Moon and Virgo, but being in the 12th house, again, it adds an extra element of fear to it. So by the way, I don't like to call it bad and good. It's strengths and weaknesses. So I'm just going to do it in any old order that comes out. So yes, because that's your deepest fears and your deepest desires, just think about the moon as your emotions and your feelings, and yours are effectively hidden. Private and hidden is basically what I'm going to say. And so they fucking should be. You know what I mean? We can't all be sitting out here on YouTube telling everybody how we fucking feel. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what kind of crazy bastards say that. Oh yeah, that's what I do. Only joking, because I give you the details that I want to give you. And Virgo is details. So you may do the same. The devil's in the details, I just heard. And Mars is your action. So when it's in the 12th house, if Mars and Virgo is already about hesitating and doing something really well, you could hesitate to do something really well and basically never do it because it's your deepest fear. Do you know where I'm going with this? Because that's what 12th house is about. It's where we self-sabotage. So the way that now I'm going to transmute it, and by the way, I'm not joking. So that's why like that's why I'm saying when I'm doing this, it is healings tonight, like in a quite they're homing in on specific people. So if I'm not reading, obviously there's not many people talking. So it's I need to sort of stay in the zone with it. I'm transmuting and healing you at the same time, Nathan. So just be aware of that. If you feel weird things going on in that way, we're clearing the energy, because the epiphany should come when I'm saying this, you see. And that's what I mean by I'm sending the Reiki and never mind the Reiki, the prayers, the Reiki, the shamanic healing, clearing the energy as I'm doing it, because I always open up the space before I come on. Now, again, I get annoyed at me having to say that, but it is important for anybody new watching this or years down the line for you to know that I'm always transmuting energy. So yeah, basically to get back to it, how you transmute that is just, even just knowing that, even with just those words, knowing that you could be prone to not taking action and hiding your feelings forever, basically. A little bit like when I've said Venus in any sign in the 12th house, you could look at somebody lovingly, very twin flame-esque, love the fuck out of them, be the love of your life, and literally never take any sort of action towards them ever out of being terrified. Do you know what I mean? So what's good about knowing that information when you know your placements is be like, I'm not going to live my life like that. And actually, so this is you now, wherever it is you resonate with what I just said, you need to tell me something back here, Nathan. Talk. I'm just, yeah, basically, yeah, this is like when I'm doing the mediumship. So, yeah, it's like basically talk back and it'll give me something to go on. Do you know what, actually? I need to now just cleanse my energy and actually read what Nix has said, because I think I've been pulled into the roller coaster, whatever. And again, it's not anybody's fault. It's because I'm actually so connected to her. I can't actually concentrate now. Yeah, wait a minute. I need to pause. And it's like a fucking runaway train when I'm doing that. Right, wait a minute. Pause what I'm doing for you. I'm living an emotional roller coaster today. Not 4 seasons, literally 40 emotions, including rage and bolomize. Oh no, right. That makes sense why I can't. Come back later. I'm going to sit. Right. Yes, we're sending love. Healing. And if Nix is open to it, I know she will be anyway, but I'm going to ask for it. Now you're going to see me giving somebody Reiki, actually. She's not even here. Well, she might come back, but if you're open to it. See, when they told me that I was going to do silent healings, they weren't joking, were they? And I'm telling her to come back, unless she didn't go away. She might have said she was going to go and she stayed. Right. She'll come back. If she's up to it, like I say, it might not be the best thing for her to, but I had to because I was getting too. Right, okay, so we get in it. Basically, the 12th house is your deepest fears and your deepest desires. So with your moon and Mars, I'm going to wait and see what you said. With your moon and Mars there would just be a tendency to not take action with things you really want to take action with because you're so scared of it. And because everyone is with anything in the 12th house. And think I've got Pluto there, right? So shit gets really fucking dark and scary for me, just saying. And yeah, to not take action with things, and especially when it comes to your feelings. So that's really important for you to know that you have to push through that. And again, I don't know if you actually have ever had one-to-one hypnotherapy or therapy or anything like that, but, and I'm not just saying it because I do it, like, you know, but it's basically, that would be really good for you, because there's a few people that tune into me with Mars, and I mean, somebody watching this later will actually might even say, I've got that there. Somebody that's done a session with me before that tunes in, she's got Mars in the 12th house. So some of these things might resonate with her. I would go to say that they definitely would. I feel they would. And once you know that, once you hear it, it can unlock to not sabotage, you know, in the way that you might do. Right. Now, let me see what you're saying. So my placements have always confused me a bit, but you've brought some clarity, Claire. I don't want to be hidden anymore. I guess that's why I can't show up. Exactly. Fucking yes. 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 Love it. And again, that's Nathan. If I could give you another comment of the day sticker, I would. We might. If I could screenshot that later. I'm not even fucking kidding. I'm screenshotting that. But yes, it is. Mars is what rules Aries. So it's like that kind of, it's action. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, Yeah, I believe that it's what they would call it's at detriment in the 12th house, because the 12th house is not about action. I was actually just talking to my cousin the other day, and I was basically telling her, like, look, you're going through that, you're going through the sun going through your 12th house, and basically, I try to tell her in a nice way, but it's not the fucking best, mate. You know what I mean? Like, fucking hide. I didn't say it like that, but she knows me well enough to know. It was just kind of like, but it's quite funny actually, because she's different from me in the way that she didn't respond right away, and then I was doing something else. Again, I don't really text folk a lot because I got rid of my WhatsApp for that reason. That I've just been really guided to hermit for my own healing in my own life, and I'm really quite enjoying it, to be honest, because I get quite overwhelmed when anyway. So this actually, do you know what? When I'm talking about my own shit, there is that how you get, Nathan? Because I'm talking about overwhelmed with social media and social message, whatever the fuck you call WhatsApp, but I just was like, nah, fuck, get me out of here. It was a combination of toxicity from still having group chats where I hadn't spoke to folk in years, or literally falling out with them and I'm still awkwardly keeping myself in it. Why the fuck do we do that? Don't lie. I know there's people watching this that are actually something's going to click and you're going to take yourself like that group you've been sitting in for 5 years. I've done it too. Do you know what? It's not logical. It's just out of awkwardness. It's like, there was a situation I was in where, why am I, again, I always trust, right? I'm talking about this because it's meant to trigger something for you, Nathan, for you or somebody watching. So, because again, the 12th house it's exhaustion, it's self-sabotage. Like I said, it's our deepest fears, it's our deepest desires, it's mental health stuff. So it's definitely anything when it comes to like overwhelm, stress, being ill, it's spiritual awakening, definitely. Do you get quite overwhelmed when it comes to, like, yeah, I suppose I've already said that, but I'm getting a feeling you could get really quite overwhelmed when it comes to taking action with something. I'm quite all up in your head and anyway. Right, I will look at the rest. Fucking hell. Nick's wasn't joking, it is a weird energy. But for when Nick's watches it, I'm sure Nick's will watch this bit on the replay, or when she comes up back, it's Capricorn moon. So to answer what she had asked, that is what is up. Like I said it last night, I don't like Capricorn moon really. It depends. I do, because look at how, like, I'm getting really passionate about doing this because my mid-heaven in your 10th house is in Leo. So do you mean I've got a kind of fun element to my work? So, but that's not the case for everyone. If your Capricorn energy is in quite a heavy place, or if your 10th house, your work is there, that's going to be difficult. But yeah, what kind of sticks out to me? Do you know what? Do you know what's going to? But I love what you said there, that you don't want to be hidden anymore, and I guess that's why I can't shut up. That's just brilliant, isn't it? Because none of us should be hiding. Do you know what I mean? We should be showing our strengths. What does Capricorn Moon do? Like Mercury retrograde affects communication and such. Right? So for you, I'm going to talk to you personally, right? Generally, like, right, a Capricorn moon is actually fucking brilliant for getting shit done, right? So obviously depends on what other things you've got going on in your life. This is why I like to explain it in my way, because like, look at me yesterday. I was in no fit state to really be doing anything. That's why I was in my bed all day. But it's a combination of things. It was basically because I'd done that very long live stream the day before. And I hadn't done that for ages, so I was just getting used to it again. And typically, if I really go for it one day, the next day I need to kind of slow down, and you know what I mean? So that's unique to me. And that, again, is, as much as I'm not that big a fan of human design, it does make sense for me because I'm the generator one. So it's like, if I'm really feeling it at my sacral, energy, I want to do it. But if I'm getting like, not happening, I'm not meant to do it. So and that bit does really resonate for me. But that also, This is why human design I'm a bit about, because it also makes sense to me, like being an Aries sun, Sand, Moon, Scorpio rising, that I'd be like that. So anyway, it's whatever. But it's human design is good too. It's just, astrology makes more sense to me. So that's more my thing. But I do respect when I've seen people doing human design and it's their thing. I love it, because as long as somebody's passionate, you know what I mean? It's like, as long as somebody's passionate about something and that's their thing, I love to see that. I love to watch stuff like that. It might not be any. I was watching something the other day and they were talking about fucking gardening. I didn't like gardening. I've not got gardening, right? I live high up, but somebody was passionate about it and I love seeing it and it helped my mum. I was like, oh, I'm going to tell my mum that. So do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, Capricorn's about your work, career, calling. So wherever you're not kind of getting on with stuff you need to get done. So that's why I say for me personally, like I get the housework done, or say I've been like wanting to really focus in and geek out on a bit of business that I need to do, like learning I don't know, like how to do an email list, or what's been on my fucking to-do list for about 8 years. But do you know what I mean? It's kind of something like that. Like I'll use those days, or like I'll sit and like read a whole fucking book about business. You know what I mean? Because I'm ADHD, so that's kind of thing I'm going to do. So do you know what I mean? It's like whenever you need to apply yourself, because Capricorn is about slow and steady wins the race. It's why personally, like, again, because I've been on YouTube, I've not literally, well, I have actually. I've had a YouTube from when it came out, but I obviously haven't had this as long as you, because I think, is YouTube like 15 years old or something? I would have thought it was more, but I think it is only like 15 years old. But what I'm saying is I've watched people the whole time I've been on, and the people that are really good at consistency, and I don't know, just very good work-wise, business-wise, monetizing it as well, just basically knowing their shit. They're always Capricorns, trust me. And actually, can I just say, anybody that's ever kind of, yes, anybody that's ever kind of been a bit tricky with me, actually, work-wise or whatever, or kind of, I'll just say it like that, because it's like sometimes I can't make up my mind whether somebody was just clever and looking after themselves and in the process fucked me over, or because it's not that strong for some. I'm seeing a lot of different people, but what I'm trying to say is it's kind of ruthless. So I don't know if you've got that side to it, but it's kind of like very business minded. So when it comes to things like that, it could come across kind of ruthless or a bit cold to, we'll say, the opposite sign, Cancer, because they would probably not do that. Like if it came to saving a friendship or even a business relationship, or stealing somebody's idea to run with it, or I don't know about stealing somebody's idea, but I must have said that for a reason for someone out there. But like, taking something that's quite a good idea, I'm going to use that, but probably going to piss this person off and probably lose their friendship or use their whatever. Some, but again, it would depend on what other kind of ruthless. So do you know what I mean? It's the way that I see astrology is like, it's quite funny because it's like I'm roasting that now, but it's like, there's good and bad, there's dark and light, there's strengths and weaknesses to all signs and all kind of placements that you have them in. And I suppose it comes down to how you use it, because will some Capricorn placements, Capricorn sun, moon, rising, fucking wherever it is, be like that? Absolutely. But not all. Like some will use it to just be really good business people, but they might not be wanting to hang around and listen to your feelings for a long time. Do you know what I'm saying? So it really depends on where you've got that. Did I answer what you said there? So that's generally right. But for you, I'm going to home in on you. Because you've got a Virgo, but you've got Capricorn sun. So where is your Capricorn sun? Right. So you're Capricorn. Oh, that's why see, look, I love this. That's why you really get my energy, because the way that I understand astrology, right? Your Capricorn sun is in the 3rd house, and my 3rd house is in Capricorn. So you'll probably really like how direct I am. Like lots of people won't get that about me. And as soon as they sort of tune in, loads of people, I mean, I'm not going to sit and fucking worry about why folk wouldn't carry on watching my video or listen to me talk in person or whatever. Who gives a fuck? Again, when you accept yourself and you love yourself, you really don't give a shit about that. There's enough people in the world for you to be hanging about with other folk, or like I like to be myself most of the time, unless you're worth hanging around. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's worthy and worth hanging around, but you don't need to. They've got other people they can be with. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But Capricorn, I love Capricorn. I seem to really love Capricorn sun. I'm not just saying this to you, Nathan, because think about it. Not everyone tuned in as a Capricorn sun, but there's something about it's very strange. I've not got a lot of Capricorn sun people in my life that I don't think I've got any close friends that are Capricorn suns, but for some reason, I've noticed anybody that I tend to really be led to online, I'm not surprised when I find out that they're a Capricorn. And I think it is something to do with my third house, because I am just so straight talking and direct and very kind of like, come on, let's cut the fucking bullshit and get to the point. If you're if you're somebody that fucking, you know, takes forever in a day to, and again, I know it's quite funny because sometimes it can seem like I take forever in a day to get to something. It really depends what we're dealing with. Or if somebody's too sort of sensitive, you know what I mean, they're not gonna get you. What I'm trying to say is, I would say strongly Capricorn suns will be led to me like I'm led to them. Do you know what I'm saying? Particularly online anyway. And I suppose it's because most of my life is online. But it's weird. It doesn't really seem to translate in person. I just get Capricorn humor. It's very kind of cutting and direct and blunt, and also I just like, it's like, so for instance, I always say this, but it's weird, right? Whenever I do watch other people on YouTube, I like when it's quite short and straight to the point, like, you know, like people's shorts that are just straight to the point, or and that's how my shorts are, if you think about it. My daily short, they're very Capricorn. They're nothing like these, are they? So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if some people fucking love watch. In fact, I know people, there's some people who've told me that they love watching those shorts, right? But they don't watch these because these are just like so fucking long, and like they're not into that. So yeah, anyway, but your Capricorn sun being in the third house, I'd imagine when you do talk to people that you trust, are you really just quite direct? I'd be surprised if you weren't. I want to use astrology, not half use me turn my weaknesses into strengths. Yeah, you want to use astrology, not have it use me turn. Yeah, that is what astrology is for. Do you know what I mean? It's like why, you know, whenever I've seen sort of people being like, oh, I really don't like my placements, it's like, but that's like saying you don't like yourself. And, you know, maybe that is the case for some people, but oh, I don't like myself, or I don't even love myself. But then it's like astrology is a tool. Like you're looking at your soul, you're looking at yours, you're looking at your soul's blueprint. So literally, from my belief, you literally chose. You chose it all. You chose your placements, you chose the situations you're going to go through. Sorry, guys, don't hate me, but you chose your twin flame journey. You definitely chose your twin flame. But yeah, you both fucking chose each other. You're part of the same fucking energy. Do you know what I mean? You are each other. You've just got to spend an eternity working that out. I'm only joking. Well, the thing is, you don't need to spend an eternity working out, because I'm a shaman, and in my sessions, when people are ready for that, I can integrate your inner feminine and masculine within you, and whoever your true twin flame is, it can take a bit of time for that to integrate. Basically, it's integrating your shadow. If you don't integrate your shadow properly with soul retrieval, which is more than like a one-time job, that's why I say I've only connected to my clients. I've actually only done that session with a few people. I don't even think it's 10 people. It's less than 10. And all of the people, like one of the women I'd done it with, she'd had several sessions, and I can't remember if she'd done a package. She might have done a package, but she's had loads of sessions, maybe just single sessions. And she's done a course with me, and she'd done a membership with me, and it was just time. You know, once I felt she was empowered enough and I could feel it. And I've actually not spoke to that woman for ages. So I really hope that her and her twin flame are getting on down and living the twin flame union life. Do you know what I mean? I really don't know, but it was heading that way. So I hope so. And you know, and that's when your time in somebody's journey is done, and then they might just pop in and check out stuff again. But because I'm so hermit-like, and I don't know, but it worked, you know, basically. And the other person, her whole entire life changed, and yeah, it's not time for her to be in physical union yet, but she's very much in agreement that when it is, it all comes down to doing that work on herself. So yeah, I could go on and on and on here. And for myself as well, like, you know, that for me was now going on a couple of years ago now. But all I can say is, it's like, I've spoken about this loads of times before, but somebody needs to hear it tonight. I never looked at the journey the same after really properly taking the time to do that. So wherever I was kind of, again, I don't like going, sometimes I really can't be arsed going too close to this stuff. But what I'm trying to say is, before I would have like seen it as like what he's doing to me and he's ignoring me and all this kind of stuff, like, and like, I don't know, it probably would have it was just separated. Do you know what I mean? I felt separated from him. Whereas even though I am physically separated from I've from like the last couple of years, I haven't. You've seen that comes with its problems, because it's like, to me, it's like, so, yeah, like I can't feel the separation whatsoever. So it does make it, you know what I mean? Oh, I can't describe what I mean. All I'm trying to say is, you've got to do that internal work, and that you cannot, I don't believe you can do that on your own. I really don't. It needs somebody to hold space, because your shadow is just too unruly. I'm going into all this other stuff, but it must be relevant. Everybody's shadow is just too unruly. It's, your shadow is your ego. It wants to rule the roost. It's like, nah, I'm not letting them know how I feel. Nah, I'm not being vulnerable. They're going to hurt me like that other person did, or they're going to fuck me over like that person did. And this doesn't even go for romance, by the way. This can go for friends that have done that, family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, anybody that's had a session with me where we're doing shadow work, it's interesting. It can even get, like, people can be really fucking nippy as well. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know what I mean? You'll know if I've done that with you, you'll know. If you're watching this, you'll be laughing. It's like, I've got a lot of patience, put it that way. So I get people sent to me with big egos. Sorry, just gonna call it. It doesn't mean everybody that's ever booked a session with me has got a big ego, but I do. It's like, but bigger the ego, bigger the soul. You know what I'm saying? Listen, when I had to get that work done for me, it's like, my shadow's doing all kinds of hiding. Do you know what I mean? It's like, the shadow likes to hide, shadow likes to hide. Anyway, hope that was interesting to whoever that was coming through for, whether that was you, Nathan, or anyone else. Right. Yes, I would say so. Your Lilith, your shadow. Yeah, I wouldn't think that would be a wrong judgment. Absolutely. From the way I described it earlier as well. And I'd imagine it is, yeah, especially in the 11th house, because that's where I said it was, because it's friendship groups. Do you know what I mean? You could be a hoot as well, mind you. You could lead people astray on a night out a bit. Like, I think my Lilith is in Pisces, if I'm not mistaken. So it's probably, yeah, that well, I've never thought about that. See, now I'm that's what that is. Because mine is in Pisces, and that's 12th house energy, and I'm already an expert at the 12th house. It's why people's shadows can't hide from me. Like, because, do you know what I mean? It's quite like basically, I'm good at dealing with the dark energy, because it's like, oh, I'll see you that and I'll match you, but I don't use it for the wrong purpose. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I use it to hide and observe, and well, it's basically like in sessions where somebody's got a really horrible person they're dealing with in the physical world. It's like, energetically, when I tell them to back off, all I'm saying is, in the physical, people do actually back off from people. And it's because it doesn't matter what your physical avatar is. God, I'm going really chat. What your physical avatar is, it's how big your soul is. And like, and it's like when I said last night, it doesn't matter that I've been lying on my bed all day. Some people are like, oh, that's lazy or whatever, but it's kind of like, I was lying on my bed all day and I was praying. There's power in that. My aura was really big and I had quite a chilled, calm energy. And people, you know what I mean? It was we had fun last night, didn't we? It helped people. And that matters. If you're somebody that can stay calm and cool, calm and collected when somebody is losing their shit. Again, not all the times. I'm not saying I'm perfect. There'd be plenty of people out there to say that I fucking sat back at them and probably deserved it. But no, man. When I lose my shit at folk, it's probably because they've lost their shit at me and they deserved it. But most of the time, definitely professionally, if anyone's ever done that, I will give myself props. I've had that happen, not a lot, but enough times. Definitely in group work. Anybody that's ever done group work with me, that always happens, because that's where people, especially if it's ongoing, because you can't keep up the facade for very long. Do you know what I'm saying? It's why I couldn't, if I'm going to stick to, sorry, they're making me going into major chatty mode here, but That's Venus and Leo. Sorry, not Venus and Leo. That would do that too, but that's Venus and Gemini is making my chatty placements go crazy. That'll be why you're chatting a lot too, Nathan. Yeah, in group work, people's shadows really come out to play. And if it's ongoing, like say you've ever went to a course where it's day after day after day, all I can say is, right, whenever I've went in any kind of training thing where it's day after day after day, or like over a course of a few weeks or months, well, I always get some fucker that can't stand me, usually because they're older than me and I'm confident at my work and they're threatened and, oh God, honestly. I wouldn't go as far as say bullying, but I've had that experience too many times. It's like somebody just fucking hates me because they hate me. Do you know what I mean? But like specifically, they hate me because they like I've done a whole load of stuff in the same field. And anyway, it happened all the time. I've told loads of stories about that. I can't bother going into it, but I suppose I did a little bit. So if anybody's ever dealt with shit like that, I hear you. I get it all the time. But I don't now, you see, because I've got boundaries. And if anybody starts being a nippy fuck like that, I'm out of there. It's a shame actually, because whenever I've tried to go to things like, again, I'm not naming names or different fields because I'm keeping it anonymous, but I can think when I was actually doing a bit of specialised work. Now, Nathan, I'm talking about this for a reason, so I don't know if you've experienced things like this, but it's like, yeah, to develop skills in a certain area, I always kind of need to pull out because somebody's a right nippy fucker. So it kind of tells me I'm better being a lone wolf when it comes to, like, you know, being an authority in my own right, which is what I'm doing right now, right now. Anyway, so, but literally everything so usually when I'm doing a session like this on a Zoom, everything I talk about is relevant to the person. But unfortunately, because this isn't a one-to-one Zoom with me and you, anything that I start talking about now, it's not going to just be for you, it'll be to help somebody watching. So just know that. That's the weird thing about when I do it like this. It's like my energy's getting pulled in different directions. I'm not used to reading somebody's chart when I'm doing it in front of others. Originally, I wanted to be born. Oh God, don't fucking blow my mind with all of that. I don't really believe in that, to be honest. By the way, I think that's all the bullshit. I think that was put there to confuse people. Sorry to be controversial. I've done my best to integrate my shadow so I don't affect others with my energy, all the spiritual warfare. Yes, no, I can feel that. And hopefully, hanging around here, you know, I can help you with that as well, because you always have to be aware of it. But the problem isn't even a lot of time, even when you've done that shadow work on you, which never stops, it's other people's. Do you know what I mean? You're always tested with other people's tricky fucker sides. Do you know what I mean? That's another weird for like, just that's the kind of, when you're going really deep into the shadow, it's like the shadows of like the people closest to you as well. You know what I mean? Like the people that are meant to be your best friends or your family members or even your lover or your twin flame. You know what I mean? It's like, that's even more complicated because that's you as well. That's an aspect of you. So that's quite really complicated. But yeah, you know what I mean? Everybody has a shadow. And if those people around you aren't doing that and they don't even fucking know what the word means, that's where it, and actually, let's be real, even with twin flames, that's where it can seem a bit hopeless at some points because you're like, oh, fuck, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can feel like they're just not going to do that. But you'd be surprised, they do. If it's someone's your true twin flame, they might not know what they're doing, but they will find their way and they'll do it. You know, they'll be led to folk that are talking about it, or they'll just be put into such a place of darkness as I'm being led to the word black on the printer. Do you know what I mean? It's not funny, but they'll be led so into the darkness and they'll pull their energy right back from everyone and they'll find out who they are. They'll do it in their own way. A lot of people will do it through finding things like this on YouTube and stuff. Right, anyway, we'll read a wee bit more of your chart. Oh my God. Holy fucking shit, man. I want to look at your chart and my chart together. You've got Chiron. You've got Chiron in Scorpio. Fuck, that's intense. Nathan, I'm not being funny, but at some point you need to do a personal session with me. You can decide when that is. Your Chiron conjuncts my Pluto. So Fucking hell, I really am your healer. I'm the healer for you, by the way. When you said that you've been getting, tuning into me for what, 4 to 6 years, I think it's 6, so you're not wrong. But in a lot of ways, like that connect, like, oh my God, actually, that fucking happened today. Guys, I'm sorry, but sorry if people are bored, with me looking at Nathan's chart, diving into his soul, and then getting pulled here, there, and everywhere. But I'm loving this because an example of that actually happened. Because if you go neb on the community tab, you healed me back because you leaving that nice comment about how you're getting benefit from what I'm doing. Because I, like I say, I am planning, whether it's going to happen or not, it's another thing. I'm an Aries, I'll have the idea and I might be like, guys, and actually, to be honest with you, talking the spiritual warfare, with all the shit that's going on in my life right now, there's every possibility that things might go a bit ski with, and I might be like, look, guys, I had the best of intentions to come here and do this Tuesday, Friday, but it ain't going to fucking happen, right? We'll stick to a Thursday if you're lucky. But no, I do. If I'm not doing a live every day, I will get back to having a recorded video with my hands kind of thing. It's just, but yeah, my life's a bit like that. I don't quite know what, but I want to do this for now, so we'll go with the flow. But yeah, basically, that's really pretty powerful. Like, because it works kind of like that I would see it as like, my Pluto's really going to be able to heal those deep inner wounds within you, and it's very deep with it and being in Scorpio. But equally, there's going to be something about your energy in that way that's going to heal me back. And like I say, that's what I'm saying, that's a perfect example. And actually, yeah, come to think of it, whenever you've left a comment, whenever anybody leaves a comment, because none of you fucking do it that much, it's always the same people, which I'm very grateful for all of you. But if the rest of you want to start commenting a little bit as well, so that we could at least get to 500, very much appreciated. Now's the time to find your voice to help Mama Claire, Auntie Claire, whatever you want. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? That's really powerful. That didn't happen for no reason, but that's intense. So that is a very intense placement. Nathan, are you often, let me just see what it is. Are you often, like, do you find well, I don't know, maybe not. I was going to say, do you get yourself pulled into conversations where you're healing people's deep, dark pains? Because if not, it's probably because your Earth, Sun, and Moon and your Libra rising is going to be able to have enough boundaries to kind of cut it off before that happens. But I don't know, people could slip in there with you because that's powerful. That's kind of, I'm seeing that. I did think that was quite a powerful comment I said to you. Remember guys, when I replied to, yeah, I thought so. You might have said yes to something 5 minutes ago. This chat's that slow. But when I said to you earlier, what did I say? I said something like, you will help a lot of people. Did I not say something like that? Whenever I reply to you guys, that's like the a black empath. Well, I would imagine, I don't know that I've ever heard that term before. I've heard maybe dark empath and stuff. I'd imagine whatever that is, probably what I am as well, wearing this black jumper, but it's people that can handle the really deep, dark shit. That's what I would take that to mean. But you're definitely that with Chiron and Scorpio at that degree as well. But it's powerful, basically, is what I'm saying. With great power comes great responsibility, to copy Spider-Man. Yes. No, well, that's why. Because it's in your first house, so it's a huge part of who you are. And it's actually very light. You know what I mean? Like, you're in the wounded healer part. But again, aren't we all to some certain extent? But it's like I said the other day, you don't need to stay in the wounded healer part forever. Like, as you become more empowered and you take your energy back, which is what shadow work is. Oh God, I'm going into a big shadow work spiel here. But for what shadow work is it's what, to bring it back to twin flames as well, it's very much what both twin flames need to do. It's just the divine feminine starts it off, is you need to take back your power from where you've given it away. And believe me, you will have given away your power to a lot more people than you think. Like, you need to grab your energy back. And that can go from like exes of the past. I mean, I'm not like, I don't really like using me as an example there, because I've been single 20 years, so I've not got many people I can call exes. Do you know what I mean? And I don't really, so it's like I can be like, oh yeah, fucking like, but yeah, it could, so we won't use me as an example, but it doesn't matter how long ago you were involved with someone, depending on the different kinds of experiences you had with them. So say, I'll think of like, so say you had quite traumatic experiences or violent experiences, or I'm just thinking all the different people I've helped over the years, or yeah, just not nice experiences or controlling experiences or manipulated or gaslight. And, you know, you take your pick. You can go as dark as you want or keep it as light and fluffy. But what I'm trying to say is if someone's had an effect on you like that, they've taken a little bit of your soul away, you know, and that's, you know, your soul is fragmented. And you need to, and they're pulling the word children. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or, you know, and it could even, but it doesn't need to be the big, deep, dark things that have happened. I think they're just making me talk about that because I'm reading, you know, you've got Chiron and Scorpio. But what I'm saying is it really wouldn't surprise me if you get like, you know, it really wouldn't surprise me, Nathan, if you get people telling you about like, I mean, do you get people like telling you really dark, like I'm talking like, again, it's like, do you get people like, yeah, like I'll just sort of, I mean, you can use your imagination, but do you get people telling you like some really dark shit? Because I do all the time. Doesn't matter where I am. Like I've said that before, but whenever I find myself at a party, which is fucking never now, but whenever I do, somehow I would always be the one that was stuck with somebody pouring a heart. Like I remember once, right? I remember I was, now again, I keep everyone honest, but I remember I was at a friend's house party and I'd literally hadn't even been there half an hour and we'd barely even started drinking. And this girl just started telling me like a lot of shit. And you can probably imagine, you know, but it was really dark shit. And I was like, and I had to, you know what I mean? my best pal at the time, you know, was good at, and, you know, she was actually, you know, I had, even people that aren't in my life anymore, like that, she was quite good at being like, right, nah, this, not the night, you know what I mean? Fuck this. And she would kind of not be rude about it, but she'd probably be like, you know, find a way to save me, be like, oh, so-and-so, do you want to go and get, you know, go and get a drink for the kitchen? And it's because, like, oh my God, I think that just kind of done something weird. It's because this is with that Pluto and Scorpio and the 12th house, like, lost souls or people in a dark place, which can be anyone at any point, flock to me. Do you mean they sense the healing? And, you know, that can really be quite stressful if you're just going to get pushed at a house party, which is where I was at the point, do you know what I mean? Or like, or you're on a night out and you're wanting a fucking dance, you know what I mean? You just want to be happy. You don't want some fucking random coming up and telling you about all the dark stuff of the day. So yeah, basically I'm gathering that you might get a bit of that. Yes, you're on point, but basically it's someone who can consume darkness and transmute it. Yes, well, hello, that's what you watch me do every single fucking time on here, and that's why sometimes I'm in my bed ill. Yes, but that's, yeah, and it's why I always say, so you probably, do you strongly resonate when I talk about, you know, because I do talk about it quite a lot, but when I talk about that Pluto retrograde in Scorpio, do you really strongly, I wouldn't be surprised, because I don't know if you'd really sort of homed in on that's on that placement of yours. Like, had you thought about that much? Because that is powerful, Nathan. And mine and yours, like yours, you having that with me is really powerful too. Like, I'm not just saying that, like that's, if me and you were talking on Zoom, that would be some intense shit. that's kind of like, it's quite similar to me, my twin flames. Like, not, it's not the same, but it's quite, yeah, it's interesting. It's intense. Intense is the word. Intense is the word. And actually, me saying that isn't wrong, because when somebody's, so like for instance, what I kind of do know roughly from what I know is, like, I know that my Chiron, basically Chiron is the wounded. God, you're on a fucking teaching spree tonight, aren't you? Asking all the questions. I love it though. See, I don't always love it, but Venus is in Gemini, so it's like I'm getting all geeky about the question. I'm like, keep the questions coming. Gemini's questions. It's like teaching and learning here. Chiron is your wounded healer, right? So whatever sign your Chiron's in, it's going to be challenging. So for instance, I don't mind saying, because there's some placements I'll be wishy-washy and I'll kind of go about the houses and I might not pinpoint it, but with my Pluto and Scorpio, I'm no fucking worried, right? I get spiritual warfare, jealousy, evil eye, all that at me every fucking day because of that placement. So, you know, I'm protected, right? Sometimes they're going to get in my head a little bit and get to me, but I know how to protect myself, so it's fine. I've said it before anyway. I've got Chiron and Gemini in the 7th house. Now, if I wasn't me, I'm going to read my chart as if I wasn't me, right? That would be someday I'd be like, I bet you've been single a long time. Hello, single 20 years. Do you know what I'm saying? Longing after a long lost love. Do you know what I mean? That's Chiron and Gemini. It is. It's Chiron and Gemini where mine's is, because mine's is in the 7th house of love and partnership and marriage. And as far as I'm aware, I've never had any of this. Do you know what I mean? In this lifetime. Probably because other lifetimes put me off, fuck knows. But how I use that to heal others. So I'm getting, I'm talking about me here because it'll explain, what, and then I'll look into yours. How do I use that? Well, I take my 20 years of being single, which some people could look at that and be like, oh my God, like, why didn't you have more boyfriends? Or why didn't you fucking, live life a little and get married and have a kid and what? And longing after the guy that I know I'm in love with? Like, no, like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's whatever. I'm just sort of having a conversation with imagining a person that nobody said that to me because they know I'm telling me to fuck off. Like, who cares what your opinion is? Yeah, the point is I've used whatever anybody else thinks about, like, oh, I could never do that. I could never. Well, it's kind of like I've got very strong discipline. Do you know what I mean? Hayat, hello. I've got very strong discipline because I've got Saturn and Mars and Scorpio. Remember, your Chiron's in Scorpio, so you'll vibe with that too. And I'm very intense, and not everybody can handle my energy as a person, as a friend, as a client, as a anything. So double that intensity as a lover or somebody that you were going to spend the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying, mate? So it's like, that's why it's like, you too. That's why I'm like that anyway. Do you know what I mean? But I don't regret the way I've lived my life at all, because like I said in that recorded video the other day, I don't want to go too deep with this either. But like I said, whenever I have ventured off the path of really being quite happy myself, working on myself, loving myself, accepting myself, learning all these different skills, healing myself, healing other people, and just being in a place in my life where I feel really peaceful and content and ready for whoever it is I'm meant to spend the rest of my life with. And I'm even ready to fucking spend the rest of my life alone, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? It's like, whatever way it goes, I've chosen this life. But I choose all that time that I've spent loving myself inside out, loving every little part of myself, all the parts that people hate about themselves, all that kind of stuff, right? I use that and I bring it into my teaching because I heal people's love lives. And I don't just heal anyone's love lives, I heal twin flames' love lives. Do you know what I mean? And that's because the 7th house is Libra energy. It's mending, it's bringing people together. It's like why I always say, like, I love that thing from Brave, and it's just funny that I'm Scottish. Mend the bonds hurt by pride. That's what I do. That's what I do. Do you know what I mean? Because ego is what spoils the twin flame connections. Do you know what I mean? Until the ego dies. And when the ego has died, and I don't mean fucks off completely, because when people start saying, oh, I haven't got an ego, bullshit. Everyone's still got an ego. Yous would be bored with me. That's why I'm saying, like, if I came on here and I wasn't being a smart ass and sassy and whatever mood I'm in that day, you'd be fucking bored. You wouldn't have subscribed. Do you know what I mean? The people I love on YouTube, I hang around because they've got something about them. They've got a bit of something about them. And actually, can I just say, in my little double agent way, when I'm guided to talk, I actually, I've helped coax people. Like whenever I see somebody being like, oh, I'll stop doing that because a few people are saying they don't like it. I'm like, nah, fuck them. It's your channel. Fucking be who you are. Do you know what I mean? Sorry. So if you happen to catch anybody being like that, so you're like, oh, I wonder if that's Claire in disguise. Probably is. But do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I've made it work for me, and I've made peace with that. That it's like, and again, I'm not even really sad about it. It's like, it is what it is. Like, I can't force myself to be something I'm not. And that's why I say, I think, as the twin flame journey goes, and someone that's been on it for a long time, I'd say I really am a good example of it. As long as you get me. If you don't get me, I'm not. But it's kind of like, because I'm honest about it. Do you know what I mean? And like I say, I really think you're only giving yourself a lot more pain if you try and convince yourself that you're going to go and have a relationship with someone and be happy, and that you're going to keep coming back to your twin flame. Again, it's slightly it is different for the divine masculine. It is. So I'm not going to talk for that side of it. I do sometimes, but right, okay. So, but the point is with Chiron and Scorpio 0 degrees, you're going to do that as well, big time, Nathan. So you just need to make sure that you follow a very similar path to mine of making sure that it works for you too. Because with all these, as much as I see it, like, because me saying all of that is, I really do feel that is, and when I say I really do feel it's, that's being honest, it's like, it means it's a more true message that, you know, for a long time in my life, and even, you know, sometimes it can even fall into still being true. It worked more for others around me than it did for me. So that's the one thing you need to watch with that is your, wherever your Chiron is and yours is in Scorpio, yeah, you're going to be a magnet for people's darkness. And that's okay if you can transmute it and you've got ways, you know, to do it. There's something I could do and there's something I could do in past lives as a shaman. I could eat cancer from people. That's what I do. Yes, you definitely need to book a session with me at some point. Because if you've been able to do it in a past life, I would say you still do it now. And not, by the way, not many shamans can do that. It's not for everyone. You're reminding me of a session. Yeah, you do, and you could. But again, just make sure that you protect yourself with it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, for instance, right, so again, I'm trying to think of, like, but see specifically what you just said. That's really interesting, actually, because I was on the phone to someone the other day who somebody they're connected with has actually got the late stages of cancer. And it's a shame because I was like, you do know that I have healed people from cancer loads of times, whether it's in my personal life or professional. And I've had people be in membership groups of mine that have had it at the later stages, and then, you know, they've been in there a few months and they leave and they've not got it. You know, it's happened a few times over the years. Or COVID. I mean, I know that I don't even usually say it like that. I usually just say the bit. Can we backtrack? But yeah, you look how, you know, I don't really want to get into all of that because I'll just get too controversial, but people, you know, were feeling very ill with that. Now, I know that's not the same as cancer, but they were feeling very ill and very scared. And like I said, a best friend of mine at the time, actually. And yeah, she said to me, and I just sent the sage, you know, I was sending her the healing and I sent her that. Next day, she was out shopping. No word of a lie. Happened several times. Same with my mum's friend, wasn't a big believer, and I just said, look, as long as she's open to it. So yeah, you know what I mean? So that's, you know, if you're aware that you're able to do that, it's powerful. And it's why you're led to, definitely why you'll resonate with what I say. But again, we'll be getting really deep for people here because, like, listen, I love this shit and I can handle it. But some people watching it are like, what? But yeah, just so that but it'll be coming up for a reason, you know, that just so you're aware, it's like, yeah, what I will say actually is where somebody, because now I'm actually being shown another case where it was like a family friend of mine actually had the late stages of cancer, but I actually had a very honest conversation with her about, do you actually want to get better? And in a roundabout kind of way, the answer was no. You know what I mean? Just being honest. So it's kind of like, you know, sometimes people are tired when they get towards the end of their life. And again, that person wasn't even, you know, she wasn't older age or that. It was just kind of like, well, she was older, but, you know, not like, you know, really, really old kind of thing. It was more just I felt her soul was tired. And that's, you know, that's the sort of, that's the soul midwife part of me. Again, I don't always talk about that a lot. I talk about it if it comes up in conversation. It came up with a client actually when they'd mentioned that, what did she call it again? She called it something different. Like, soul midwives can be called, like, you know, you get birth doulas and death doula, that's it. And I tend to call it like a soul midwife. I'm that as it, and psychopomp. Again, it's basically, it's, you know, it's the dark work. It's whatever the other shamans that kind of go, they can't go that much into the darkness. So yeah, again, different words for different things, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, but I like what you're saying, because you're saying things that have got very. But again, it makes sense. Like, I'm loving this. Like, now that I know that you've got that 0 degrees, like that you like, we're absolutely soul family. Because I always, you've probably heard me say that, I never see anybody with 0 degrees Scorpio anything. So I'm fucking excited of seeing you. Again, I've yet to meet anyone with Pluto retrograde 0 degrees Scorpio, but the fact that you've got Chiron, like, that excites me. At least I know there's somebody tuned into here that fucking gets a bit of the darkness like I do. A big bit of it. Protect yourself. Except, you know what, actually, Nathan, you've got it out in the open and I've got it in the hidden. So it's like you'll out in the open get people's darkness and I get it behind closed doors, which is why I probably talk more about getting fucked over, because it's like I help people with really dark stuff behind closed doors and then they don't give me the credit. You know what I mean? That happens a lot. But again, I've made peace with that too, whatever. Not giving me, because again, you shouldn't, it's not about, there's not, yeah, it depends which way. How do I mean that, actually? It's not about getting the credit. Like, you don't expect somebody to be like fucking every single day being like, oh, Claire, help me with this, Claire, help me with that. I don't mean in that way. I just mean I have had that happen too many times where, like, basically, kind of going a bit close to the bone with some of the things. Yeah, but I've had that happen quite a lot where it's like I know that I've actually healed someone or something, and it would, if that attention was brought to my business, it would bring a lot of business my way, which I do deserve for being able to help people with really, really dark stuff and painful stuff, like stuff I've just mentioned. And then the same people can actually take credit and not mention that they got my help whatsoever and sort of basically say that they've healed themselves. I've had that happen about 20 million different times. And it's kind of like, that's when that's people's shadows, you know, that's a bit dark when I'm like, wow, because it's kind of ungrateful, isn't it? But yeah, at the same time, the most important thing in these situations is that somebody's better again, is the way that I see it. You've really got, and that, but you see, that's just a test for my soul and ego and spirit. Depends, I don't know if it's a bit of both, isn't it? That you can just learn to let things like that go. But, and sometimes people don't realise as well. I've had situations where it's like, oh, maybe they don't kind of, but I think sometimes people do, and it's like, But again, it's always like when people go off the radar, whenever these things have happened to me, and there's honestly about 10 to 20 million folk that have done that to me. Some of these people actually might be watching this in the down low, but what I would say is if people are watching this like nearly 2 hours deep, that's anyone that's done that to me. Because I always get to see, now I'm going really Nathan, this is dangerous when me and connect like, with me, you connect like that, because I'm going really into the shadow here. But it's like, it always gets said to me in personal readings that I've got people that watch what I do in public, they lift what I've said, and then they teach it to their people as if it came from them because they can't channel like me. That's really dark, but that's true. Like that, honestly, that comes through all the time. And I know it, I can feel it. And so but then it's like, it's kind of like a fine line between people being inspired and influenced and hearing something that, you know, because you don't, you know, it's like I'll hear that you can't be forever being like doing that, you know, mention it, but it's a bit different, you know, it's all about integrity really, do you know what I mean? And that's when it gets all kinds of fucking psychology wise, like sometimes people like see people with heavy Pisces placements. Watch this whenever anyone's got heavy Pisces placements, whether it's you, just be more self-aware, or whether it's happened to you. Anybody that has ever lifted my work and have found out about it, which will only be a tiny amount of people that have actually done it, they've always had strong Pisces placements. It's crazy. They've either had a Pisces sun, moon, or rising, and it's always the people that have just outright, like, you know, taken, like, and it's more, it doesn't happen now, so, well, it probably doesn't, I don't know, but again, I like what I say, I don't care, do you mean, because I'm at a place of peace and whatever, I'm not on Facebook and Instagram and all this, probably where people do shit like this, but it was usually when I used to write these big detailed posts, which I could actually start doing okay on here, but people don't interact as much with the written stuff. I would write these really big detailed posts, and then yeah, like I would later hear from somebody that was like someone had taken that and then like posted it and they're like claiming it was theirs. It's just like fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? Like, but then some people are like, oh, be flattered. It's like, well, it's a bit fucking annoying too. Do you know what I mean? But whatever. I don't do that anymore, so they can't do that. But again, if they want to copy all the shit I say on here, then whatever. But again, it's just insecurity, isn't it? If people do, yeah, it's just people that need to love themselves more. What are my thoughts about Indian mantras? I don't know a lot about it, but no, I love them. I mean, there's definitely, when I've ever been guided to listen to stuff like that on YouTube, and I still do, it does help me. Because I've done Kundalini yoga and all of that, and that actually really, Kundalini yoga was a huge part of my spontaneous Kundalini awakening. Actually, I fucking blamed it for a while. It really, really gave me. Yeah, I was in agony for 36 hours. That was 2016, August 2016 to be exact. I was in agony for, oh my God, I've got cramp in my leg as I'm saying that, for 36 hours. And yeah, I was actually one of my best friends. Actually, that's funny. I was with one of my best friends that she's actually making me my lunch on my birthday. I was like, it was, I've got two of my friends, like one of my friends is taking me out for lunch at the weekend, and then my other friend is making my lunch on my actual birthday. So I'm feeling, and then my mum's taking me out. So yeah, I'm just like, oh, you know what I mean? Because it's like, again, birthdays, it's when you get older, they're not that big a deal. Do you know what I mean? It's but no, it's quite nice. I'm letting people, so I must be doing something right. I must be in full divine feminine empress mode because I'm open to receive. And to be fair, I have always, oh my God, I'm going to, sorry, Nathan, I've went into total like chatty counselor mode. I don't know where this is coming from, but yeah, my birthdays were always a big deal. Like, but it was more because like nobody else's birthday was around then. I do love, oh, you're back. I called for you to come back. Did you feel it like when you watch the replay, unless you were silently still here, when you watch the replay, you'll see I gave you a bit of Reiki because I asked your soul first if you're open to it. And so I hope you're feeling a wee bit better. I hope you got time to have a breather because that, yeah, it's Capricorn moon. I'm sure from remembering where it is in your chart, you've not got the funnest Capricorn energy, have you? I'm pretty sure. Am I not right in saying that your fifth house is Capricorn? Is that right? It's something like that. It's something like that. I'm back. It'll be brief. I'm having some tower moments, I think. Yeah. But listen, that's going to be happening leading up to the eclipse. So I very much feel that's why they're wanting me on here as much as I can be on here, really. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so Hayat, the Indian mantras, I can't claim I know a lot about them, but when I'm fucking, when I usually get led to stuff like that is when I'm fucking in agony with something. When I forget all the shit that I say to you guys and I'm like, oh, I'm in pain. Yeah, I'll try anything because you do. Do you know what I mean? When you're that much fucking pain, and I get really, I get angry with the higher powers because I'm like, listen, you fuckers, how can I heal somebody like that by fucking praying for them once and I'm in agony and you're not fucking healing me? That's the kind of conversations I have. Do you know what I mean? And then I'm like, I'm sorry, Great Spirit, I'm sorry. And it is just because I get really, really, really. I'm sorry, I'm not playing the violin right now. Like that was more like a guitar. But it's true. You've no fucking idea. Maybe Nathan does. Because Nathan's got Chiron and Scorpio. But you've no idea the darkness, the dark lessons that get thrown my way. You have no idea. Yeah, I will write a book one day just about all the darkness that I've been through my life. And I'm still fucking laughing. Oh yeah, because your houses go along with the signs, but it's yeah, but you're wait a minute, that can't be right. Oh fuck, I need to look at your chart now. Wait a minute, can I read your chart when I'm on it? What was I saying? Because I've been listening to them about 2 weeks and I feel like a healer. Are you somebody pulling my chain? You know what? I had this random thought the other day. I thought, yeah. Are you a real person? Anyway, I'm joking. I was born half awake as opposed to completely asleep. Yes, yeah, absolutely, mate. So was I, Nathan. Yeah, you've probably heard me say that. I always say I came out the womb awake. Do you know what I mean? Because I was just so, yeah. With those 6 retrogrades, yeah, there's not much that I miss. I can just see through everyone, which isn't always nice, is it? As you'll know with Chiron and Scorpio. Oh my God, I should ask you about astrocartography. I don't know a whole lot about that. Yeah. So I can't help you with it. But it is fascinating, it is interesting. I'd like to get it done for myself. I've got somebody that comes on here quite a lot that she loves that. You have all the credit from me, Claire. You're a genuine psychic healer and help me, my helpless self. So thank you for Nathan. Thank you. But you see, the thing is, that's because that is because you actually probably, like, sorry about that, you actually probably really feel my pain. You probably, you're kind of dangerous with me. You probably actually feel the things that I don't say. So don't name them. But like when I'm kind of talking in code, I wouldn't be surprised if you probably get like a passing feeling about things. God, I wish I hadn't looked at your chart. See, it's like that energy in me scares people, but your energy, that scares me fucking seeing that fucking I'm gonna be full transparent. I'm gonna be fucking looking at how mine and your charts match up. I'm gonna be looking. Because like I said, I'm not surprised that you feel I'm able to heal you, because our energies definitely match up, but you'll be able to heal me. And that's why I started saying that about what again, I don't know for definite, but what I know about how my Chiron matches up with my twins is it's like the same thing. Like it's intense, but I can't remember what I read it once, and it was funny. I only read it last year, and I was like, "Fuck!" And it was like I read it right at the time of my life when I did it, and it was something about like, or maybe I actually even need. No, I'm not going to read it out, but it was something along the lines of you heal you heal each other. Do you know what I mean? And that is basically twin flames. But like I say, I can actually work it out from what I do know of my twins chart. But what I also know is it will take a lot for it to get to that point. So, and that seems to be fucking spot on too, doesn't it? You want a cup of tea? I love to do that. There's somebody here, they're sitting in the dark in the next room. Oh my God, right. Calm down. I'll need to go soon. I've been on here for hours. I'm having too much fun. Fuck, I've missed my bath, guys. This is fucking up my routine. I can't be doing this every day fucking shit. I've got shit to do tomorrow. I've got to go way up the fucking town and everything, and we know that's a fucking, I don't like doing that shit. I need an early night. I would read that book, Claire. Thank you. I'm honestly, there's loads of books I'm going to read. There's loads of books I'm going to write. And I'm not just saying it, but like my mum always says, you have started to do it in some kind of way. She's worried. She's worried that I'm like, listen, Rona, don't worry. When I do that, I'm only having banter. I don't call my mum Rona. That's cheeky. Sorry if you call your mum and dad by their names. You're not meant to do that. I don't do that. But I do when I'm talking about yeah, I've made notes, I've made voice notes, I've got journals. Yeah. I had a weird heart button today. What does that mean? Are you meaning literally? Or like a weird is this a new saying? I had a weird heart button. We can give hearts like Facebook. What, on here? You can give me hearts on here? Really? Your Capricorn is right. You would say it now, Hayat. I have got my sun in the house of Virgo, so I'm going to correct you, but only because it is one of my bugbears when I hear people say it that way. Your Chiron is in Capron. Now I'm fucking up because I was being smart. Yeah, you'd say you've got Chiron in Capricorn. because Chiron's the planet and it's in the sign. So it's Chiron and Capricorn, just to teach people, because I do catch people. You see, that's when, yeah, I think that, yeah, I think the only kind of exception where I don't mind too much is if people say, like Capricorn moon. I don't know why that's better, but to me, when I hear Capricorn, because it's not, you know what I mean? It is like you've got that in that. makes sense to me, if it means anything. I'm Gemini, but my moon, Mercury, Venus, and North Node is in Taurus. Oh, that's a lot of Taurus going on. That's nice, very grounded. I really don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with you. Why are you saying it like that? Oh, Nathan, that's a massive compliment from Claire, the healer's healer. The healer's healer. Yeah, and that really is that is in the case of a lot of. No, it is a compliment. Yeah, it's funny the way, because it is like that is what I am, but it's like it's a shame that lots of people don't realise that. And again, it's because, you know, I hide. I mean, I hide and I don't hide because I am here. But it's, you know, people, it is a shame because there's lots, again, I come across massive channels and I can tell they don't get the healing that they need from like the really dark, deep shadow work, because they probably, I've said this before, but they probably don't trust a lot of people because they'll be worried that if they go and get healing from someone, and again, you know, it's people might, you know, I know I tell lots of stories because again, I'm a shaman. I heal through storytelling, but I do keep it anonymous in general. Do you know what I mean? And I always think if it was somebody that came at me that was really well known, I wouldn't be sitting, you know, I would gauge it, or I would ask them, and I'd be generally, I wouldn't like sort of, but I do. It's just like my Pluto always feels their pain. You know, I've seen people that I've actually cleared entities from people in that just from watching YouTube videos. If I'm being perfectly honest, like, you know, I asked their higher self for help, but all I'm saying is there's one person I don't even, I was wishing I didn't really like her. I don't, you know, I basically don't watch the videos. What I will say is it was years and years ago, I used to watch someone's videos, and yeah, I don't resonate at all. And because I just kind of think she's fucking people's heads up actually. But anyway, come away from that. But the point is, I'd noticed that there was quite a serious entity, like hanging, like an energy hanging about her, and then she was passing out information to others, and it was fucking like they just made me catch one day, and I was just like, right, that's really fucked up. Like she's helping a lot of folk, and I basically prayed, like that's what I mean. Like, you know, it's never in it. Like I just prayed for her to be able to see what was going on, and all I know is it was crazy. Like she came back on, like I can't remember, it was like a week later, a couple of weeks later, and her whole energy had completely shifted. And I was like, but that's what I mean by it. It's a little bit fucking unfair, because I'm sitting fucking skint and I just healed. And then it's like, that's what I mean about, like, I can't get the credit because it's like, it's hard to prove. But it's happened quite a lot of times. And then I've had situations where, Christ, I've had loads of situations where I've went to someone for healing and I fucking end up healing them. That happens all the fucking time. Really annoying. But again, yeah, it is because it's like what you just said, I'm a healer's healer. Again, I do feel some sort of rebrand coming on with all of that, quite soon, because it's like, you know, I suppose it is a bit hidden if I'm not. I don't think I've even got that in my written bit, but it's people with the eyes to see get that, you know what I mean? And actually, the more I'm on here having big hearts to hearts, I mean, this is like we've all got drunk at a party and we're talking in the corner. Do you know what I mean? You never know who's watching at some point, and they'll be, oh, maybe she can help me. So again, if you're somebody that you're, you know, I was about to say your ego's too big to go and get help, well, just fucking, you know, push your ego aside, book a session, I'll help you, and you never need to come to me again, and I'll no fucking tell anyone. Do you know what I mean? maybe that's where my clients are at. Do you know what I mean? It's you come and dump all your deepest, darkest shit on me, I'll transmute it. I'll be happy, fucking book session. Like that's funny. I'm not even fucking joking. I think they're telling the truth. I guess you can't see. What do you? So are you? What do you mean? Are you putting hearts on the screen? Are you on your phone? I need to see this shit. Maybe I could wait a minute. If I go on my phone from like my children's channel, which I've abandoned a little bit, haven't I? I've been on here that long. I feel like making a cup of tea or something, guys. It's a bit like when the handymen come to. That sounds fucked up, doesn't it? But anyway, but when the guys come to fix things around the flat, because things are always fucking breaking, and it's like I've got the one guy that comes. It's he always says the same thing. He's like, "Clear, Pat, I'd love to fucking hang around longer, man. I could talk to you all day. I'd love it, but I've got to go." But he's still talking to me as he goes down the stairs. I'm like a little old lady. Once people get talking, they can't stop. Or I get talking. You know what I mean? It's just because it's the healing comes through my voice. It's always like one or the other. Hello, behind the roads. What's your name? Because you've commented a few times. That can't be your name. um, I don't have PayPal, Claire, but as soon as I do, I will book a reading. It's time. Why do you not have it? Do you not trust it? Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know how else. When you're in America, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how else. But no, I would love to do a session with you because, like I said, it'll be intense. So I can just tell. Um, you'll do what I just fucking said. You're going to end up fucking healing me. It's always that though. I always say that whenever I am healing someone, it's always healing. I think anybody that's a half decent healer, you should be able to recognize that when you are healing someone, it's literally always healing something in you, always. Um, yeah, I think you've been following me a wee bit. I think you did you find me through the shorts? Well, how do I know? You could have been following longer, but because you've commented a few times on the shorts, haven't you? Um, it's going on 20 to 9, Hayat. No, it's not just you. Somebody else had said it was, Nick said it was crazy energy as well. But I don't really know. I mean, I haven't, I'm just trying to think. I've not done a lot today. I just sort of chilled again. I chilled again because of doing this last night. And then, yeah, and then I had my wee niece. It was quite nice. I took her down to sea and it was amazing watching her laughing at I'd never done that before. I think I'd ever done that with her. I'd done it with my older niece, but which is really quite terrible because I live beside the sea, but we always just stay. We always on the first day it's just cozy jammies day, and actually that really was. I thought it was the last time the other week, but this was the last time because she look how sad I'm. I'm like, oh, my wee pal. But yeah, that was the last time. Look, I just got drawn the card. I can't imagine my life without you. That's a bit dramatic. I'll still see her, but she's not a baby anymore. Yeah, it was just fun watching her like getting so excited at the sea, like running away from the waves. You know what I mean? Frankie, lovely. I used to work with a Frankie. I like that name. Trendy name. Stripe, yeah, I was actually going to get Stripe because of the whole PayPal. PayPal got they brought in weird rules as of November, I think, and it was all things I really didn't agree with. But again, it's just too difficult to change shit. The principle of the matter, I was like, I don't want to be with them anymore, but it's too difficult to change. So, um, my mum frauded. Oh my god, my mum frauded my account a few years ago and really stifled my journey with healers and said, "Fucking hell, Christ Almighty, Nathan, that is a real Chiron and Scorpio thing you just said." I'm really sorry to hear that because that's really dark. Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that. You see, actually, and that's kind of like terrible. It's bad. Right. What was I going to be doing here? For fuck's sake, we're still 2 people away from 500. Claire, leaving for study and like leaving for study for my midterm. I hate. What age are you? I mean, you might be like an adult learner, but I'm just like, it's like with all these essays. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be the reason you're failing. Although we did pray for you to get an A the other day, so you need to come back and tell us if your health essay gets an A. Do you know what I mean? Midterms. Are you at high school or something? Is that not high school? Right, I'm just trying to see, like, can I do this heart thing? How are you talking about a heart thing? Oh, right. Yeah, I can see. Like, what happens when you're pressing that heart? Oh, look. Look at that's hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. The fucking the screenshot that it's froze me on is I can't live up to your fantasies. Can I just say that actually feels like the energy of my twin flame? That actually does. Oh, that's funny. But technically, my fantasies would be his too, wouldn't they? Just saying. If we're being honest, right? I'm feeling more peaceful. Think I'll duck out for now. Thanks for the healing. You're very welcome. Right. Okay. I didn't even do the 20. I thought you must have been quite young. Right. Oh my God. You're fucking talking about fraud and I'm fucking showing my bank cards and everything. Right. Let's just pull a chakra card and a crystal card because I think the best bit that I was meant to be looking at on your chart, Nathan, was the 12th house. Although, wait a minute, I do just want to. Oh, Venus and oh my God, Venus in Gemini is in your 8th house. And again, I've got very similar Gemini, Scorpio energies in my chart. So you'll be loving digging into all this, deep diving into this dark stuff right now. Do you know what I mean? In deep conversations, I would imagine. Or you wouldn't be hanging around here. Because I love doing that all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like that's where my 8th house has got a lot of that energy going on. That's why I'm suited to being a healer through my voice and a counsellor, because I can listen if somebody needs me to listen, or a lot of the time I attract people, it's like I'm not a big talker, but actually as you're like, so when I do shamanic journeys a lot, if somebody's inner child, if there's an issue with not being able to use your voice, a lot of the time it's like I'll give the space to be like, look, do you want to say to your inner child, do you want to self-soothe and say what you need to say from your adult self to your inner child? And a lot of the time they'll either say, can you do it? Like basically, like, so it's like it sounds weird, but it's like I become someone's mum in the session. And I can feel healing going to my back when I'm saying this. So I can feel healing going to whoever is open to this. And it's like I self-soothe and talk to your inner child. And most of the time, I will kind of, like I said, I kind of feel into it and I'm like, do you want me to say it? Because I can actually hear what it is you need to hear to heal. But always give the person the choice whether they want to say it to them, because it's more powerful if you say it to your own inner child. But that's like, again, that is a skill about recognizing when somebody needs more of your support. But it's like this is a continuation from the other night, because it's like when I was saying the other day that that's a difficult thing for me, because a lot of the time people can take it quite personally when I take a step back. But it's actually like I have to do that, it's who I am, and everyone's life really is. It's like Nanny McPhee. It's like that's what people in nurseries used to call me, because it was like when shit was kicking off, I was there and I was helping people, and then when everyone sort of was smooth sailing, I had to go. Like literally, I would move jobs. they're like, but everything's great, we want you to stay. And I'm like, oh no, I've got to fly off in the sky, Clary Poppins, do you know what I mean? Nanny McPhee. And yeah, you know, that really is a lot. I think that really is a lot about being a shaman and all the other different things. It's otherwise, you know, you're promoting codependency. You know, if you're kind of like teaching people to need you, like it's so just a bit, it's a fine balance, you know what I mean? Because I think it's quite healthy if you can have a bit of space away from people for them to handle stuff themselves. And then when they're in not even struggling, just kind of, I'm dealing with something right now, I need somebody to help me with, or I need somebody to hold space, as I like to say, or, and like I say, sometimes people who just come to me, they just can check, they can just spot that I'm going to be able to help them, that really dark thing in their life. Like a lot of the time I get people that like, you know, they've literally never told a soul that they've been raped or abused, or like we're talking the really dark stuff here, or had miscarriages or abortions, or, you know, I could go on and on, really, really dark, traumatic stuff. And they'll just splurge it all out with me in a session. And I might literally never see them again. But how amazing is it that somebody's got all of that off their chest? And you might be like, fuck, Claire, that's really not good for you. And sometimes people say shit like that to me a lot, but it is okay, because I must have chose that. Like, not, and again, not saying it from, like, I literally must have chosen to be that healer that can handle that, because I can cut off from it. There was a one point in my life I couldn't. And it depends, you know, there's some stories that do stay with me a little bit more, but not really now, to be honest. Like, because I literally, like, you bet your bottom dollar, as soon as I get off here, the first thing I do is clear my own energy. And I tell every one of you that I am not your healer, Mother Earth is. Like, seriously. So if you ever hear, like, just so that nobody kind of, you know, yeah, basically it's healthy to do that, because it's, yeah. Anyway, let's do the chakra cards. I don't know why it's went completely old lady having a chat in my living room vibe, but I'm digging it. It's kind of, you know what I mean? It's fine. Cool. But come on, guys. Whoever's kind of making me be on here, we need to cut that out. This is too long. And by the way, Nathan, how cool is that you're, I mean, is it cool? I mean, you've got a Hogmanay birthday, New Year's Eve. I call it Hogmanay. Where's my lip balm? Well, it's not lip balm, it's lip gloss, and it's a bit fucking fusty as well. It's like, it's all I could find at the last minute. Big sigh. Oh God, Nathan, Chiron in Aries is going through your 7th house. The sun is there, Jupiter's there. You could have a lot of relationship shit going on right now. But it could swing kind of either way, you see. You could have some real honest conversations in relationships, or a bit of pain, or painful honest. It sounded like you've already had a bit like that from what you'd already said. Right. Again, I could look at it all day. I just, like I said, I don't know if I'm up for doing, again, I couldn't do that all the time. I don't know if you get it. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like I go really off somewhere when I look at someone's chart. I think it does need to be a private experience, to be honest. But everyone, you got a little bit of a taster of what that's like. And literally, that's just a taster. There's usually a lot of tears. Yeah. Right. So give us a chakra card. Can I say, if they're going to do anything like what I feel is going to happen, I don't know about with these cards, but I bet you with the crystal one, every single time I use these cards in a personal session, it fucking is and again, I started doing that about eight, maybe 9 years ago. It blows my mind, the accuracy of whatever we've been talking about. So we'll see if it does it tonight with the themes. Right. What is a card that we can round this off with? Like I say, oh, that's what it is. I feel on the Thursday, right, because it was always therapy Thursday that I done, but because just now, if I'm going to trial doing it like that fucking wordy thing that I've called it, Twinflame, Astro, Shamanic therapy Thursday today, I feel like the Thursday is going to be the one where I don't mind being a bit longer like this, and then try and keep the other ones the shorter. That's my feeling anyway. Like, I think I will make the Thursday more of like deeper healing. Like, I might do things like that, like look at someone's chart or heal somebody's energy or something like that. I think that might be why bits and bobs of weird shit happened tonight. It's like something to do with intention that I'll say. Right. Although, can I just, everything's healing, right? Everything's healing. I'm just trying to make it a bit more I need to make it exciting for me so I don't get bored, to be perfectly honest. Like, I want to find a way to help people, and it needs to help me back, obviously, business-wise too. Like, I need to experiment with a few things. Right. What do we have? Talking out loud again. We've got Aqua. Oh, look at this. And somebody did say that. Nyx just said that before she left. And it's time to lighten up. Every time I'm on here lately, I'm always pulling a card about, like, there's the one about the medicine's the best. Medicine is, I thought about that last night, that I think I woke up thinking that was, I'd said something on the one before, like the day before, about, I think I titled something Healing Through Laughter or Healing Banter or something. And then I pulled that card about laughter is the best medicine. So it's like, it really is. I'm just telling you, that is what I heal people with the most. It's time to lighten up. Build your confidence. Oh, look, and attracting a relationship. Yeah, it's just all the things I help people with. And attracting a relationship. Basically, you're here to experience peace and calm, build your confidence, have a sense of humour about it. And then when you're loving yourself, you'll attract the right person into your life through flow and synchronicity. Live an extraordinary life. No, I'm not even shitting you though. That is, you've got to fucking go all out there and be your true self. And put aside all the worries that that you're not going to get whoever it is you want to be with, because it's too much. Whoever you're too much for, you weren't meant to be for anyway. I don't know where that came from, but it's true. Right. So, experience peace and calm. Aqua creates a state of serenity, tranquility, and peace by assisting you to soothe your mind and calm your nerves, which seems to be what a lot of people needed tonight. It is a great colour to work with in meditation when you would like to experience inner stillness. It is also a colour of patience, faith, and acceptance and coolness. Aqua assists you to dissolve your fears and to increase your confidence and belief in yourself. And then that's funny that other card was talking about confidence. Calm your nervous system and soothe your mind by immersing yourself with aqua rays of light. Right, so this is a wee meditation. Spend some time relaxing and focusing on your inner stillness. So you might like to close your eyes for this. And because I'm doing this anyway, I'll just add in my wee bit. So close your eyes if you're guided. Just imagine a cloud of mist forming above the top of your head. And that cloud of mist has the power to dispel any negative energies or entities or anything hanging about your aura that doesn't serve you at this time. Anything of your own negative thoughts or fears, any projections from other people's projecting energy at you, the world fear. And just let that energy fall over the top of your head, smoothing over any worries, stress, burdens. And as it falls down over your head, it goes over your eyes, relaxing your eyes, but not so much that you fall asleep or anything or go into hypnosis. Just enough that you relax in the moment while I'm doing this. Because like I say, even when you close your eyes for a moment or two, or however long you've got, that heals you. So just allow yourself to relax. And instead of the mist, I want you to see that mist turning into a beautiful aqua light moving through your nervous system, calming, purifying, and creating a sense of peace. And I'm really noticing as I'm saying this here, if you keep your eyes closed, that's not a coincidence. That, like I said, that Nix had said earlier about feeling, I mean, I can read it right now, actually, feeling more peaceful. So there must be something out there about the other people that are going to watch this later, no matter how far it is, that people are, I very much feel it's those of you in the dark night of the soul, or perhaps you just had a bad day, whatever it is, or a bit of both, really needing to, you know, transmute that energy. So I feel that's why this is coming through. And now I'm going to say this bit, and if you just take in this energy, well, actually, I'll read that bit after I do this. So see that aqua light moving down all the way through your nervous system, all the way down. We're calling on Saint Germain, the violet flame, to cleanse, clear, and delete any previous requests that no longer serve your highest good, to make way for what will serve your highest good and your highest good, and the highest good of all involved. And we always put that out to your twin flame as well, if their higher self is open to it. And like I say, I can't see why their higher self wouldn't want it. It would always be the ego that would argue that. So, and we've all got an ego, remember, right? So, and also if you're going through your dark night, so that is when your ego is dying. Again, to stress that it's not fun. So we're sending extra love to those of you that are in that. And the energy goes all the way down your feet, and see roots of the tree with the aqua light mist coming down through your feet, going down, 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 all the way down to the bottom of the earth's core. And we cut the cords of fear, lack, and negativity to the old earth, keeping the lessons, letting go of the pain. You're ready, you've done with that karma, and you're ready to go in the next chapter of your life. Now we connect to the new cords, to the new earth of peace, calm, abundance, balance of your inner masculine and feminine energy. However that is meant to be, whether it's your inner feminine, outer masculine, outer, you know, opposite. I always get confused at that bit, whatever. However way it's meant to be with you, and however way it's meant to be with your twin flame, that energy is sorting itself out in divine time for each and every person listening to this. So trust. You're right where you're meant to be. And I'm on page 20, and I'm just aware that I pulled a judgment card in one of the something that I'd done recently, a shorts or something. Yeah, I think it was a shorts. And it's just, to me, that is when people are facing different karma basically, and karmic endings. And yes, your day before God, things are being adjusted and sorted out for wherever that needs to be in your life, and for the people that done wrong to you as well. So that was kind of heavy, wasn't it? Pull up from the new earth whatever you feel you need today, whenever you're listening to this. So if you're going off to sleep, a peaceful sleep. If you're starting your day, something for your day. And say, Divine Spirit, infuse me with healing aqua light, calm my nerves, and allow me to experience a sense of peace and tranquility. So, and now you can open your eyes, but actually close your eyes again. Doesn't matter if you opened them and closed them, because that's actually a hypnosis thing. And when I talk for this long, I've absolutely, if you have all stayed on the whole time, I will have put you into quite a trancey energy. So close your eyes again, and I'm going to count from 10 to 1. I'm going to get to 2, you're going to think about opening your eyes. I'm going to get to 1, you're going to open your eyes wide awake, and hopefully a bit more peace and calm is in your being. So ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Thinking about opening your eyes. 1, opening your eyes, wide awake. Right. I know it's just a wee short one in the book, but I always like to just put my own healing in it as well, because it fits well. Right. Okay. So what crystal card? Wow us with the crystal card. There's a few black crystals in here that are quite deep, and it mentions about it being a rare crystal and stuff. So just saying in case it comes out, but it'll be whatever we need to hear. And I feel it's this one. Oh, it's my favorite. Oh my God, look at all those. Hey, that's like a special little sign for me. Oh, and I like citrine as well. That's funny, because it's got loads of like unusual crystals, but hematite is my favorite because it's just simple. It's like literally, look, and here's what I prepared earlier. It's not really, that's pyrite. Kind of looks, I think this one's actually a mixture of pyrite and hematite. But yeah, hematite is very similar to this. It's like silvery grey and it's heavy. I've normally always got a bit beside me, but I haven't. Like I say, I think this is a mixture. But yeah, it's you get it for like about 60p, but I mean the way fucking prices are, it might be like more now, but it's oh my god, actually. Yeah, they have done what I said it was going to do. Like this is what I mean. I knew they were going to do that. You'd think I'm thinking or something. Peace and calm. That's hematite. So it really is, that is what's really needed in the energy tonight, is peace and calm. So there must have been some real, going by the bits and bobs that folk are saying on this chat, some people have had a really heavy day today. But again, I said, Capricorn moon's heavy. And by the way, can I just say, Aquarius moon, which is up next, I think I've actually spoke so long the moon is about to shift into Aquarius. I'm fucking shitting you. That is it. I might have put people to sleep as well. I just realised that when I talk this long, people fall asleep. They'll be like, I think that's what this is going to turn into. I'm going to be like one of these talk down channels. You know how some of you can't sleep? I'm not even joking. If people have got this far and you're awake, I'm not joking. This would be brilliant for you to go to sleep to, because it's just calming. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I'm not too hyper. Right, so. I don't think it's shifted just yet, but it is. I think it's maybe in about half an hour. But yeah, anyway, when the moon shifts into in Aquarius, fucking hell, shit kicks off, man. It depends where it is in your chart, but that's unexpected, and you can't call it. In my life, I've had some crazy shit happen on Aquarius moons. The craziest shit in my whole entire lives, that's what many lives, I'm not even joking, has always happened on Aquarius moons, and you can't call it. Even me being really, really psychic, it's like, yeah, it's unexpected energy and it's surprises. So I hope it's good surprises coming your way. Right, okay, so let's read this card. Hematite. Originality, inner confidence, protection. Right. This mirror-like stone was used by warriors for protection. That's probably why I like it. It assists us in fighting our demons, whether internal or external. See what I mean? Sorry to interrupt, but it's doing what I said. It's like every time I use this deck, it's literally just backing up the shit we've just spoke about. Because we've been talking about demons. That's really what me and Nathan were talking about, is with those placements that I've got and you've got, and whoever else has got one similar to that, basically wherever your Scorpio is, but it's just because we've got that a really powerful, potent degree that many people could not handle. Only some souls in the world can handle it, and apparently it's me and Nathan. I forgot what I was going to say now because I went too passionate with it. But yeah, it's about fighting demons, basically. You know what I mean? Basically. Like whether it be your own or other people's, it's internal or external. Yeah, it's basically what we've been talking about. It brings greater inner strength and confidence to overcome feelings of unworthiness, which is a lot what I'm helping people with on here. That's, by the way, unworthiness is the core wound I would say you're dealing with in your dark night of soul. It was what I dealt with in mine. That manifest in drug, alcohol, or other forms of self-abuse. These are also things that I help people with as well, which is probably why I was guided to not do any of that myself, because it's not the best. I mean, how would you feel about that if I was doing some heavy drugs or drink every weekend or every night and then I was healing you? I mean, it doesn't add up, does it? So I had to cut all that shit. Not that I was doing all of that, do you know what I mean? But I have been known to in the past. I don't know about all of it, but right. So that manifests in drug, alcohol, or other forms of self-abuse. It also helps deflect the influential emotions of others and dissolve codependent relationships. Right, okay, I'm done. Do you see what I mean? The connection I've got with these cards is I've clearly not lost it. This is like you and your twin flame, right? I haven't picked these up in ages, but look at that. It's fucking backing me up. Everything I spoke about codependency as well. I actually channeled about, if you've been here the whole time, teaching, not to have that. So it helps you turn. And by the way, can I just say that's a twin flame thing too? A lot of people's twin flames stay away because they're so terrified of how codependent they are with you. And some people won't even understand what these words mean. Like I say all the time, I didn't until I had to dive deep into it. But I actually had loads of codependent relationships in my life. But it basically means where you know, you feel like if you go anywhere near that and you get really deeply involved with them, that it's like you're just absolutely terrified it's all going to dissolve and go away and you're not going to have it and you're going to be left needing them. You know what I mean? So, and if that is anyone I'm speaking to out there, but absolutely fucking is going to be lots of people listening, there's ways of healing that. And again, you know what I'm going to say? It comes through therapy, and you don't need to go to therapy for years. I was literally speaking to someone the other day that was telling me that they're feeling so much better from, I think it was 6 sessions that they'd had. And like I say, I would always recommend 8, but it's, you know what I mean? It's, the point is you can come out of that hell by getting help, but you have to be ready to go for it, basically. Right, it helps return us to a state of focus and an awareness of our own path and will. It strengthens resolve to attain grace. It imparts a strong sense of confidence and raises self-esteem, encouraging us to surmount obstacles and resolve problems. And this is why I always used to carry little bits of hematite in my pocket. And when I started my counselling course, when I met my friends on there, I remember giving a girl that later became a close friend, like I gave her a bit the day we met. I was the weirdo that was handing out crystals. But it's because it really, I felt her nerves, and then and she just, I just could sense when someone's going to be into that, and she totally was. Get yourself a bit of hematite, basically. Oh, and actually, you can get hematite. I know loads of you will know this, but for the people that don't, you can get hematite rings, hematite bracelets, hematite anything, and particularly with the rings. So when a ring or a bracelet, now actually, oh yeah, look, that's funny. Yeah, look, I wear a hematite ring every day. I forgot that. I think that's emerald and hematite. And I did have another one. The ring's still there, but the stone fell out. But basically, if that hematite one ever falls out, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be annoyed though, because I like these rings, but particularly because it matches my nail varnish right now too. But hematite soaks up that negativity. Do you know what I mean? So it soaks up your stress, depression, and just purely because it's heavy. You know, like that, Chris, it's just really comforting. God, they're really making me get into my crystal shit tonight. But yeah, when you get, like, if you've got crystal, you know, a hematite crystal bracelet, if it breaks, like I can think of loads of clients I've had, like soul family over the years, like where the bracelet was consistently breaking, but it was because she was in a very toxic relationship. So, or like around toxic work environments or anything. So yeah, pay attention to that. You know, that's what it's for. It's there to soak up the negative energy, but it shouldn't be breaking every other day kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? That's telling you something. Right, it strengthens resolve to attain grace, imparts a strong sense of confidence and raises self-esteem, encouraging to surmount obstacles and resolve problems, beneficial for activities of expansion and growth. And I can feel a lot happening around the crown when I'm saying this, so it's definitely someone's needing to hear that. It supports and fortifies us as we turn the mirror inward, shadow, revealing our weaknesses and mistakes, and then allowing us to forgive and move on. This is probably why it's my favourite, because this is all the stuff I channel about. Hematite teaches us to take responsibility and draw on our inner strength to further the growth of our soul. I've also spoke about that tonight. Works very closely with the blood and all circulatory problems. It's a cleansing and strengthening agent for the kidneys and the blood, useful for cell regeneration, relieving cramps and anxiety. I was mentioning I was getting cramp in my leg. It says, drawing this card indicates it is time to draw on your inner will to move forward. Take responsibility for your existence and work towards a state of grace. Well, that's beautiful. And then we've also got citrine there on the top. Energizing, individuation, prosperity and abundance. And this indicates a need to look at your motives and honour yourself. If we're selfless, we draw down the abundance of the universe. Right, I'm fucked now, so I'm going. So I hope that I was able to give you a bit of peace and calm. And like I said, it really does feel like I went a bit old lady in my living room vibe. So I don't know. Do you know what I mean? That's just the way it was meant to go tonight. So yeah, we'll see what it's like tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? I can't imagine I'm going to have loads of energy because I'm going to have to go uptown and be around lots of people, and I can't really be arsed, but I've got to just go and kill a few birds with one stone kind of thing. So I need to go and get shit done out in the world. So yes, but I will see you. I'll be on I've stuck to 6:30, so I'll come on at 6:30 again. Yeah. Sleep well, everyone. This is the bit where I need to find out how to turn it off. There we are. Zoom. It's not went too bad. Not looking too Alice Cooper, but I think if I'd spoke for any longer, I would have. Look, my eyes have went really. Hello.